Gtrc, Gran Turismo Racing Community. Hello everybody and welcome. It's Saturday. We all know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing Community, to get down, get busy, lay down some rubber on a track, and show us some absolutely fantastic racing action here on a Saturday afternoon here in North America, Saturday evening over here in the UK and Europe, and all the other awesome places that everybody is viewing from today. We're here. It's finale night. I mean, this is it, folks. GT3 finale. We seen our MX5 finale last weekend. What an absolute phenomenal race those guys had. And we're here in Daytona. So we're staying in the Americas for our GT3 guys as well in our finale this week. And boy, oh boy, Daytona Road Course, absolutely infamous, famous racetrack. We all know the Daytona. The Rolex 24 Hours is here. Absolutely huge event here at Daytona, and absolutely beautiful racetrack here. This is going to be a 90-minute race, ladies and gentlemen. There are all three tire compounds available on the racing tires: the hards, the mediums, and the softs. And these guys can use whatever they want, whenever they want. There's no mandatory stops. It's all down to strategy here today. So let's get some standings up for you guys. Let's break this down before we get qualifying underway. We still have 10 minutes, which is fantastic. The boy Ghost is on time for a change. So let's move in. So this is the standings as of last week, or 2 weeks ago in Spa. And as you can see here, we got Bufu Shadar at 164 points. With the amount of points available for a race win and fast lap points, he cannot be caught. Bufu Shadar is our GT3 champion this season. Congratulations to Bufu Shadar. It's been a very hard-fought season for him. He had to face some adversity throughout the season, but comes out with a race in hand. And it turns out that he is out visiting with family this week as well, so not in the race. So feeling very comfortable, and he's just going to let the rest of these guys battle it out and just have an absolute blast here on the racetrack. In second place is Doug Barrow with 136 points. Bar 27 very close behind with 127 points. There's implications there, folks. We have Hair Razor just behind Bar 27 with 123 points. Key Tops with 121, and Pigums with 111. Pigums has been the fast mover this season. He came in late to the season. He has done everything he can to charge up them standings, and now he is sitting there with the potential opportunity to finish top 5 at the season's end here. We'll have to see how it goes today. Trone Colby in 7th with 88 points. Ibra in 8th with 85 points. Monkey Mafia in 9th with 61 points. Type R with 54. Canvas with 34. We haven't seen him on track here in the last little while. Unseen Throne with 32. Tap with 28. Happy Pappy with 28. Arroyo with 28. And Supra with 27. So that's how it all breaks down, folks. So we still have that second and third place podium spots up for grabs here today. So we're just chilling here. We're gonna we'll go jump on track and let's go see who's out. Let's go see who's chilling. We got Throne there. We see Unseen Throne there, having a little bit of issue in the International Horseshoe there, getting it a little wrong and paying the price there. So but Trone Colby in that Supra, very good car for this racetrack here today. So Trone Colby could be one of these drivers to look out for. Let's continue to go through our field, see who else is on track. Again, Bar 27 currently sitting third overall in our standings here today. Hope everybody's doing fantastic as well. Got Simon over there saying congratulations, Trone. Hey. We're just checking to make sure everything's working good. It does appear to be everything is working good. Fantastic. All right. How is everybody doing today? I am your host for this evening. I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself for those of you that are new. I am GT45 Gaming. I am the host for this evening. This is presented by the GTRC, again, the Gran Turismo Racing Community. We've been working together now for some time as broadcaster and an esports racing league. So it's been a great journey so far. These guys are a fantastic group of racers here. We got Tap here as well, and he's in a nice gorgeous looking Octane Genesis livery here, chasing Doug Barrow right in front there in that BRZ. Moving through our field here, we've got Petrolhead. He's in that Mercedes AMG GT3 car. So again, another car that's probably going to be very well suited here for Daytona today. We'll have to see how he does. We got Type R here in this Toyota FT1, and this guy knows how to drive this car, so might not be the best car for this racetrack, but let me tell you, he can definitely drive it around this racetrack. We've got Magic Man 5500 here as well, again in that Green Bay Packer Mazda. Pigham's getting it a little bit wrong there. Again, that international horseshoe really looking like it's going to cause problems for some of these guys. We got Doug Barrow, of course, in second place, trying to lock down that second place spot here for the championship this season. Not quite enough to get that win, but he is going to do everything in his power to make sure he stays in that second place here in the podium standings today. So we don't have all our drivers on track here currently that are in the field here today. We see Hair Razor just coming out here as well. Again, just chasing. He's nipping Barr's heels for that third and final podium spot. 750 here as well, now just jumping out on track. He's in that Aston Martin, so it can be interesting to see how that car does. Not quite getting it right there either. The infield section of this racetrack is absolutely brutal on these drivers. You have to watch your track limits going through the bus stop, which we just seen the driver going through there, and you just, if you miss your braking point, it can be very ugly for the drivers. So we are going to be starting qualifying very soon, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are just out kind of practicing, final testing, checking out that one spot. Maybe they're struggling with a little bit on the racetrack here. So 5-minute warning just came up there from the official running the lobby. So we are on Gran Turismo 7, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, that's right, we are on the new platform here, and it still has, some minor issues and some little things that happen throughout the game, but it's getting much better. Every update they do is progressing very well here, and we're very proud to be presenting here on GT7 here as well. So the game looks fantastic. The physics updates have been great. The tire model updates have been fantastic. They're definitely moving in a fantastic direction for league racing, for leagues like the GTRC here. So good for the racers, good for the community, good for the leagues, good for the broadcasters. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got something fun to watch. And we all get a big smile on our face at the end of it, so that's what matters. So it's going to be a long one today, folks, so settle in. Go out, get your breaks, get your snacks, get your drinks. 90-minute race. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a little non-exciting, and then it's going to be exciting, and then it's going to be a little, these guys are just settled in and trying not to make mistakes, not to lose any time, trying to gain up on the next driver in front of them. So we'll have to see what it all pans out when the finish line and that checkered flag finally waves 90 minutes later. Great way to finish the season here at Daytona Road Course, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. It looks easy. I assure you it is not. When you factor in tire wear and dirty air and different cars with different attributes, it is going to be epic. Epic is going to be the word for this here today, ladies and gentlemen. Epic is the word. How are the audios? Is everything good, ladies and gentlemen? Please do let me know if something needs to be adjusted before we get to all the great action on track. So you can see the drivers are really starting to just kind of settle in here. They're getting ready now. They're going through their pre-race routines, whatever it may be for each driver. Some of them might be a potty break. Some of them just might be to stop, think, take a deep breath. Some of these guys are probably just amped up and ready to go. So each driver has their own little methods, and who are we to mess with that? So you can see Pigham's here coming out again, coming in a little bit late into the season here, but definitely made a very, very large charge up the standings. So if he comes back for the next season here, he's going to be one of these drivers definitely to be watching out for here on track. The competition is getting much more intense here at the GTRC as our weeks have progressed here. So we do appreciate to all our new drivers, to all the drivers that are long-standing and continue to come back. We do appreciate you. We can't do this without you guys. The drivers are the ones that put on the show. So huge shout out to the drivers. These guys put in a ton of practice every week for these races. These races do require you to test different strategies and refine lines. The guys, they show their times and during practice during the week, and that's motivating and pushing all the other guys to be like, okay, how's he finding that extra time? So a lot of hard work goes in from the drivers alone, never mind the staff. Huge shout out to the staff of the GTRC community. They keep things moving behind the scenes, all down to the stewards and officials that make the tough calls out there. right up to the guys that put out the standings and all the awesome stuff we see here on the streams. So huge shout out to them guys as well. And it's just an absolute privilege to be able to broadcast this to you guys as well. We all know we love to do our comms here at GT45 Gaming. It's something that we enjoy very, very much, and I hope that you, the viewers, enjoy it too. But most importantly, the viewers. I mean, we don't grow and we don't continue to gain more support without you guys, the viewers. So huge shout out to the viewers, all you ladies and gentlemen out there that show us support and continue support to all the new viewers that may come in and watch this and check this out. Welcome. We appreciate everybody. Absolutely appreciate everybody. Joe coming in with that like. We also had Kamish Yadav, I hope I said that properly, coming in with the follow on GT45 Gaming. Welcome to the family, my man. We appreciate you. So Unseen Throne coming out, and again, you can see he's really struggling with that corner, that international horseshoe. It is a very, very difficult corner. It's a very long corner. And it's kind of got like a double apex, so ideally you want to go in a little bit late and you're trying to aim for the farthest point of the apex before you get on your power, and when you do that, you should get a fairly good exit here. Let's see if we can find somebody who's near the start-finish line. Let's jump on board with Doug here. So we're coming around this first hairpin. I can't remember what this one's called, but again, another long sweeping corner. You want the late apex and then power out. You're trying to miss the outside curb and just try to touch that very far curb there. There's a secondary curb there. You get on the power and that secondary curb, it'll spin you out. Here's all full speed section. Oh, and that's it. We are going to get to qualifying, so we will... Well, hey, welcome to the winner circle. Hey, my man, Joe, appreciate you. Hashtag top admin right there in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Always appreciate our man. So it is officially qualifying now, ladies and gentlemen. So typically it is about a 10-minute qualifier, 12 minutes give or take. So we're going to see probably 5 hot laps out of these drivers, and that's going to be it. We're going to see them park at the end of turn 1 off the track there. And once all the drivers are parked, they'll have a chance, of course, to switch to different starting tires, whatever the case may be. And it'll be race time, 90 minutes. So she's going to be a long haul here today for the drivers and the staff on track here in Daytona today, so it should be quite interesting. So here we go, we're out on track here with Hair Razor. Let's get you guys some beautiful information. We're going to show you all that juicy stuff here for qualifying, let you guys take a look at what the drivers are doing, what the I mean, obviously all the drivers are going to qualify, most certainly probably on the soft tires, but we'll see how it goes. So Hair Razor is first out. So let's jump on board with Hair Razor here. We'll let him get through the this lap, and then we'll jump on board for his first hot lap, and we'll go through a lap around Daytona Road Course. So again, very interesting combination for a finale. I think it's going to provide great racing here today, not only for the viewers but for the racers too. They love the competition. They love racing each other here. So it should be very, very good. So this is the run to the just a famous bus stop. Fairly high speed sector. We're going to call this a mid to high speed sector. You can't really just send this thing, you won't hold it, but if you get it right, you can get a just absolutely fantastic exit. And it's all about the exit coming out of that bus stop, because from there you can see we come around this huge half oval here. So this basically turns 3 and 4 at Daytona Oval at this point, where these guys are coming out. You're going to see the penalty markers here just at the end of the straightaway. You do not want a penalty. That hurts your time big time here. And then you can see them. We're going to cut this a little short. Start finish line coming up right here. So on board with Hair Razor, first official qualifying lap here. Coming into turn 1 hard on the brakes, down into second gear. Want to hug that wall there. Don't want to get too close. And hard on exit. Try to sweep out, clipping this curb. Trying to straight line this as much as possible essentially. And then just before the block on the brakes, and then downshift a second and just rotating through, waiting on the power. Miss that first curb, go wide for the second curb. Great exit there by Hair Razor. Here's full speed. You're going to want to move over to the right side here, sweeping to the left. Just nip this curb here, hold it around, and then just off the braking, third, second gear, rotate through. Again, the International Horseshoe is a difficult corner. You got to wait, late apex on the power, take it out wide. Moving over to the right side of the track here now, on the brakes, down to second for rotation. On the throttle, you'll see a quick upshift here, wide exit here to get maximized speed into the oval. So far, great looking lap here from Hair Razor, who's first out on track. And here it's just about as minimal amount of steering input as possible, and let the banking of the corner do the work for the race car. It's going to minimize tire wear and of course just keep the car faster. So right in between the 2 and the 1 here, we're going to be on the brakes down into 4th. We're going to rotate through down to 3rd. He's going to stay in 4th here. Doesn't need the rotation. Some cars will need to drop to 3rd there, rotate through and then back up into 4th on exit. So good exit here, and not having to shift from 3rd to 4th gear on the exit, of course, is going to gain you time from that shifting point. So now this long sweeping oval coming around to the start finish line. You're going to see him stay really tight to this yellow line now. Obviously the shorter way around this corner. You might even grab a little line here, getting to the start finish line. 146.878, so a great lap by Hair Raiser there. And there we go. So there was a lap around Daytona Road Course, ladies and gentlemen, and absolutely fantastic racetrack. We got Piggums here sitting on pole, though, in behind Hair Raiser with a 146.343. So TPC Piggums so far setting the mark. Drone Kobe sitting in P2, only 1/10 of a second behind Piggums. So those Toyota Supras very early on showing their prowess. Unseen Throne in the Mercedes sitting in 3rd with a 46.4. Doug Barrow in that BRZ with a 146.8. Hair Raiser, who we were on board with a 146.8, and I know he can get around faster. That other AMG here at a 146.6. These guys are tight in their times. And then we see a little separation. Supra's a little bit off the pace here. 147.9 might be on a different tire compound. We see a 148.4 from Type R, 750 with a 48.8. Magic Man with a 50. We got Tap here with a 56.9. Not a good lap from Tap there. It's all right. Lots of time for these drivers. And Pappy here is just coming out for his first lap. You can see him really trying to warm them tires up. So let's stick with Piggums here as he's coming around into the bus stop here now. No, he's actually, yes, coming into the bus stop here. So very high speed sector. You're basically braking at about the 75 meter board here, just enough to get the car to slow down and rotate. You want to just clip that first curb, rotate through, clip the second curb, and then you might see Piggums downshift here. We actually see him go all the way to 3rd gear. So, and then into 4th on exit there. That's going to allow the car to be a lot more stable. And again, you lose that extra gear shift. It's going to give you a much better exit on exit here. So he must have made a mistake somewhere. We see him with down quite a bit. So let's jump on with Trone here and see how Trone's doing on his second lap here in qualifying. With a 146.2, so Trone Kobe jumping into pole position, and Trone Kobe is on a mission here today, folks. Oh boy, this is going to be exciting. Unseen Throne jumping up into P2 with that Mercedes, and look at these time splits. 5/100ths of a second, 7/100ths of a second, 1/10 from Piggums to Petrol, 6/100ths from Petrol to Doug, from Doug to Hair Raisers, 8/100ths. We're down to 6th place. We're only 4/10 of a second from 1st so far, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely going to be a banging race. This is going to be so tight. This is going to be insane. Woo, boy. We're in for a treat today, folks. We are in for a treat. I might lose my voice today. I have much more commentary to do this weekend, so whoo, here we go. This is going to be a great one. I'm already excited. I could tell. I could just tell by the difference. Those time splits are absolutely phenomenal. They're the closest we've seen the drivers all season. And Piggums 7/10 up on Trone's time here. Piggums like, all right, I've had enough. Watch this. Let's see what Piggums can do here. We got Petrol as well. We're going to stick with Piggums here as he comes around again. Still up 8/10. He's almost a full second purple here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see our first 45 here from TPC Piggums. Let's see how he handles the bus stop. Getting a little bit loose on there. Good stuff. He has to keep those tires on that one track side of the white line there. You're guaranteed to get a track limit penalty. Almost a full second up. 9/10 of a second. Piggums is up here. So looking to take pole with authority on this flying lap. Again, these drivers are only going to have a couple more laps here, so that they need to do their work. They need to do it soon. You can see the cars are getting lighter. And there we go, 45.2 from TPC Piggums. He's going to jump back up in the pole position there, but we've seen Unseen Throne and bettering his time with a 45.8 as well. Trone Kobe here now down sitting with a 46.1, so he's also still improving on his times. We got Petrohead with a 46.2. Every driver has been improving on every lap. Doug with a 46.3, and we're going to stick with Doug. He's purple coming through the infield sector here by a 10th. Now, BRZ is not very well suited for this racetrack, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can maintain that purple on these really long runs with this car. He should probably still be purple through this time split. The BRZ is phenomenal through these tight, twisty bits of the Daytona Road Course. Man, he's only flat now. So let's see where he's at the next timing section here when we come into the bus stop. He very well could be 2 or 3 tenths down. This car just does not have that top end like those Toyota Supras and those Mercedes up ahead of him here. And the Supras and Mercedes proving dominant currently right now, sitting in the top 4 positions. So going to be the car to beat here. We see Trone coming in on Doug here now as well. Going for a really short exit there. And he is still up, so it's not that he doesn't have pace in that car. It's just, again, the top end isn't there to keep up with that Toyota Supra. And every driver in the field, with the exception of Barr so far, has basically improved every single time around this racetrack. So, Pagum's here with a penalty. That's going to hurt his lap. Unseen Throne. Let's stick with Unseen Throne here, who's coming in seating provisional second place here currently. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We're just checking the audios here again. It's still a new overlay. We've only used this overlay about 3 times so far, so it is quite possible we could see some audio issues or something throughout the stream, so please don't hesitate to make a comment in one of the chats if there is an issue, and we'll correct it for you guys right away. So you can see here qualifying is basically done. Tap still on a flyer, so we'll stick with Tap here. 46.7, not improving on his time. Barr still coming around here. He is up coming through that timing split. So, ooh, 8 tenths. He's up by quite a bit here. So, ooh, but the half-second penalty through the bus stop, that is going to hurt. Could potentially maybe still improve on that time, but it's going to be hard to say. We'll stick with him here as he comes across the finish line. And no, the half-second penalty really did hurt him there. And Pappy is, I believe, our last driver on the flyers. We're coming through the bus stop there. We're coming out into the final run to the start-finish line here. So, nope, that is it. Qualifying is over. It's race time. Let's move it over, folks. All right, everybody, welcome. We've got sound. Yes, we do. We have a camera that needs to disappear, and there we go. All right. So it's race time, folks. And, ooh, great start by the Merc there from Unseen Throne. Let's jump on board with Throne as he gets a great race start there. Absolutely hole-shotting TPC Pagums in that Supra coming into T1. Let's see how it all goes here. This is make or break here, lap 1 for all these drivers. Ooh, Magic Man getting a little bit wide there. I'm not sure if he just got it wrong or if he was just tapped a little bit. Looks like everybody survives. Let's jump back on board now. Unseen Throne getting a good run there. Pagum's now falling behind Petrohead, so the Mercedes very early on showing good pace. Oh, and Tron Kobe is spun. Not sure if he was helped or if he just spun out there in the mid-pack there. We'll have to see how he gets back on track. Looks like he's already back on track and rolling here. Not sure what happened, but Tron Kobe spinning in the backfield there, dropping several positions. Doug sitting in 3rd place here, now tucked in behind Petrohead, so very early on, Doug Barrow with that BRZ in the podium positions, and he's got a tough race in front of him today in this car. Let's watch how much this Supra is going to pick up on this BRZ here, up this straight now with Pagums. We are going to remove all that information off the drivers here in a second. My bad for not doing that. You can see Pagums now in the slip. You can see that Supra starting to pull. Supra's starting to pull in. Pagums getting into clean air, getting ready for the bus stop here. On board with Doug Barrow as we come through the bus stop. Watching the front 2 guys. Just absolute precision from those Mercedes. Ooh, Doug getting a little wrong. He may get a penalty there. That is going to be devastating for Doug very early on here on lap 1. And he does. He picks up a half-second track limit penalty here. That is going to allow TPC's Pagums to get back into the podium positions here. And we're going to go through our field here real quick. We're going to jump out. We're going to jump back in so we can get our TV crews working full bore here. All right, there we go. We're going to bring up semi amount of information for everybody so you guys can see their times, and of course positions on the left side of the screen there, ladies and gentlemen, is the live running order here at the beginning of this race at Daytona. So Unseen Throne getting an absolutely great race start, sitting in first place. Mercedes competitor Petrolhead right there, right in behind in second. So again, very early on, Mercedes proving to be very dominant here at Daytona. Let's see if there's going to be a move here. It looks like Petrolhead kind of looking for a way around. So coming around the International Horseshoe here. So let's see what happens coming out of the corner. It looks like Unseen Throne getting a little bit of a better exit there than Petrolhead. You can see Pigham's now up there in third place after Doug's having to serve that half-second track limit penalty, managing to stay in fourth place there. So good news for Doug. Got some slipstream here that might be good for that BRZ to be tucked in behind that Supra. It's just whether or not it can keep up with that Supra in the slipstream. You can see here now Tap as well in fifth place. So Tap moving up a few spots here in that Hyundai Genesis. Sorry, not the Hyundai, the Genesis X Group 3 car. I do apologize, Genesis. It is now a Genesis X. It is separate from Hyundai. My mistake. I always get it wrong. You see Tap took a look there. Tap was thinking about maybe making a potential move going into the bus stop and decided better of it. He's like, nah, you know what? I'll just slip in behind here and we'll try and get him on this long run and the start-finish line. It's the best place to pass here. And, of course, coming into turn one, you can make a move if done right and, of course, committed. Supra here in that old Nissan GTR sitting here in sixth place. So, going to be interesting to see how this older model of GT3 car handles it on fuel and tires. Bar 27 in seventh. He's in that old school Supra as well. I believe that is the 97 edition GT3 Supra. So Hairraiser and Trone now battling for 8th and 9th place. We did see Trone have a little bit of an incident there. I'm not sure if he was tapped or if he just got it a little bit wrong. But now moving his way back up, having a nice little battle here with Hairraiser. So Hairraiser sitting in 8th place, trying to hold off Trone Colby here as we're coming around this first absolute tight hairpin corner to the left, right here. You can see all those drivers missing that curb there. And it is quite possible that is what happened to Trone there. He got that first curb on exit, got on the throttle, and it just spun that car sideways. But looking like he's doing a good job recovering so far here. And you can see what's going on up ahead of Hairraiser here as we look through the back window here. And Trone Colby's just kind of sitting tight right now. I think, again, he's just going to wait to get a run on Hairraiser and wait for a better opportunity to get the job done here. So Trone Colby in 9th place again. Qualifying really well, just having a little bit of an early incident, maybe some nerves, maybe a little bit of pressure mounting there and just made a mistake, but back on track and in the mix. Type R in 10th in that Toyota FT1 with 750 right behind in the Aston Martin. Now, this is very much going to be a buddy up. We need the slipstream to catch the guys in front of us type of race, so it's going to be interesting to see if these drivers continue just to battle each other or if these guys opt to start working together to try and keep up with the group in front. Slipstreaming is going to be your friend here today at Daytona for these guys in order to catch up to the next driver in front. If they've got a buddy, they're just going to continue to pull away from you. You do not want to be alone on the track here today. Magic Man 5500 rounding out our field here today. A little bit of low lag there from him. So here we go. The two Mercedes drivers, Unseen Throne and Petrolhead here. Is Petrolhead going to make the move? He's looking inside, so here we go. A battle for the lead. Oh, and Pigham's coming in really late. He took a look. Woohoo! Pigham's making up a ton of time there. Wow, that Toyota Supra showing some dominance under braking there, and he almost got into the right spot to make a move there on Unseen Throne. So here we go. Battle for the lead. Three-way battle now with Pigham's absolutely making up a ton of time in the braking into turn one. But Unseen Throne and Petrol here. Mercedes versus Mercedes battling side by side through the full. Ooh, a little bit of contact. Oh, and Unseen Throne gets spun. A little bit of contact between the two drivers. Nice save by Unseen Throne. He gets right back in behind Pigham. So Pighams is in the lead here. Pighams is going to benefit from that little bit of mistake between those two drivers. Very difficult sector to go side by side through. Both cars just rubbing tires and Unseen Throne going wide there. We did see Petrol giving that position back to Unseen Throne. Now Tap getting into the back of Petrol a little bit. Petrol's just got to settle back in here. He knows he's got the pace in this car. Tap now in fourth place. He has gotten around Doug Barrel as we get back up to the front here as we still got a battle for the lead here between Unseen Throne and Pighams. Unseen Throne taking that wide line. Pighams is going to tuck a little bit of contact there with the wall as we just heard it. And Petrolhead now back into third place here. So here we go. Tap taking a look, but Petrol going in deep on the brakes here. That Mercedes seems to be doing really well through the bus stop here. But, ooh, Petrolhead is going to pick up a track limit, I think, there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see. No. Pighams gets the track. Both drivers get a track limit penalty. Unseen Throne with a chance to drive away and pull a gap from these drivers. Fantastic for Unseen Throne here because he is in it right now. Here we go. Piggums and Petrol pull out. They're going to serve these penalties here and watch how much time both these drivers lose on the drivers behind. Tap moving his way through. Now up into second. Doug following him. Petrolhead in fifth. Going to take a look. He's going to try to get the move on Piggums going in. Piggums is just going to let everybody go. He's like, all right, I'm good here. And here we go. 5 of them. 2 wide through turn 1. Doug and Tap just making it through there side by side. Great job by those 2 drivers. Battle for second place. Oh my goodness, these drivers are feeling it today, folks. Woo! A little bit of contact there between Petrol and Tap. Tap making the move. Ooh, Doug getting a little loose there. Whoo! These guys got me sweating, chat. Oh my goodness. All right, unseen throwing up the road. Here we go. Dugborough now in second. Petrol in third. Tap in fourth. Piggums right there in 5th place just behind it. And you can see Bar 27 and Super trying to catch this group as they're all battling. Oh, and what happened there was there a little bit of contact. Doug off the international horseshoe there into the wall. We'll have to see what happened there. Petro now in second, Tap in third, side by side, cut back from Tap. No, Petrolhead read that, cut that move off. Great read by Petrolhead to hold second place from Tap here. Here we go. Piggums in 4th place, just tucked in behind here, going to use that slipstream to pull himself back in. Supra and Bar 27 been doing a great job working together here so far. Yes, sir, let's go. Nolander coming in with that big thumbs up. What is up, my dude? And look at these guys go. They have been pushing their way up to this pack. This is going to very soon become a 6-way battle for podium position here. Trone Colby now, after his incident, up into 7th. So Trone is feeling it today. He's sending it, and he is doing everything he can to catch that group up in front of him here. If he can get onto the back end of this group, this very quickly becomes a 7-way battle for the lead. Hairraiser in 8th place. Hairraiser's in a tough spot. He's in no man's land. He's by himself. He needs a buddy. 750 and the Aston Martin here in 9th place with Dugborough now in 10th in behind. See how Doug manages this here. I'm not sure what happened, Doug. We did not actually see if there was contact there. He may have just missed a braking point, but nonetheless going off the international horseshoe there and falling all the way back to 10th place. So not ideal for Doug Barrow here as he's trying to hold down 2nd place overall in the championship. We'll bring those standings back up to you guys here a little bit as well. So Unseen Throne still in the lead. And all these drivers absolutely battling hard for position here early on in this race. So a little bit of a gap here, 0.8 of a second, but that slipstream range for the rest of these drivers. Tap now in 2nd place in that Genesis X GT3 car and looking very solid here. Petrolhead in 3rd place and the other Mercedes AMG just in behind. So it looks like these drivers have settled back down here now. Piggums in 4th place, and he's just chilling. Let's jump on board with TPC's Piggums here as he's kind of in the middle of this very large group of drivers here that we're starting to see. You can see Supra and Bar 27 right there. Trone Colby just off in the distance around the corners here. And, of course, you can see 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place just up ahead of him here. So very tight racing so far early on here at Daytona Road Course by our GTRC drivers. And this is our finale, so we would not expect to see anything less out of these guys, but just absolutely hard, incredible racing. And you can see Piggums making up some time there through the bus stop. So we may see TPC Piggums start to pull back in on these guys through the corner. You can see these cars are so low to the ground with their aero packages that they are actually rubbing the asphalt in the banking of this corner, of these corners here in Daytona. And let me assure you, ladies and gentlemen, the banking at Daytona is no joke. So in behind, you can see Supra has really pulled in. And he thought about making a move there, but he just backed off there. And he's just going to tuck in behind Piggums. So now 5th place is in the mix here. Bar 27 has just lost that pace a little bit here off of Piggums. But you can see this is really starting to tighten back up. So let's get our TV crew doing what our TV crew does best to show us the action here. Because we got a battle for the lead. Unseen Throne and Tap having a battle here. These guys going to go side by side. Tap has a good run. He's inside that car there. He's on that rear quarter panel. Great job. A little bit of contact there again. Again, high-speed sector. Tap really late on the brakes. Is he going to be able to hold this corner? He's going to get a little bit deep. He's going to... No, he's going to hold it. 1st place for Tap. Petrohead following through, and now Piggums as well. So here we go. Our leader dropping all the way to P4. Tap with an absolute beautiful move on our leader there. He's going to move his way up into P1. We're going to see this happening a lot here throughout the day today with these guys slipstreaming each other. Petrohead now moving up into 2nd place. Unseen Throne, who was just in the lead, back up into 3rd. So gotten back around Piggums here. So Unseen Throne now down to P3, but again, not out of the battle here. He's only 8/10 of a second. He's in slipstream range as we're coming into the bus stop here. So Pigham's taking a very shallow entry there here, trying to make up a little bit of time on our third place driver here. Ooh, Unseen Throne is going to pick up a half-second track limit there. I think he was a little bit short on that apex, and I am correct. So not an ideal lap here for Unseen Throne. Again, he's just got to settle back into the race here and tuck into the slip and just regain. You can see all these drivers are able to regain here, so he's going to pull over. He's going to lose some positions here. Let's see how many he loses. You see Supra now moving up quickly. He's going to move up into P3. He's going to get 2 for 1 there with that penalty as he jumps around Pigham's as well. And here we go. Unseen Throne answering back. Going to try and get around bar 27. Ooh, a little bit wrong there, but he handles it back up. Tucks back in behind. So Unseen Throne from 1st to 6th in lap 7. Real unfortunate. Let's see how he handles the situation. Tro and Kobe now in the fight. 1.4 seconds away. They cannot count this guy out. He was blazing fast in qualifying. Whoa, Doug Barrow there in P8 with Hair Razor in behind in P9. So Doug now making up a couple of spots, but they have a gap to make up 7 seconds to that front pack. Hair Razor tucked in behind. These two race together quite a bit. They know each other very well. I would not be surprised to see these two work together here. 750 in that Aston Martin in 10th place. Not too far off those two up ahead. Type R in 11th. Magic Man 5500 here in 12th. And Happy Pappy in 13th. All these drivers having their strategies in play. We'll drop that banner at around the... we'll bring up some information for you guys at around the 25 to 30 minute mark. Let you guys take a look at what the drivers are looking at. Probably around the 25 minute mark, because any drivers that maybe, if there is any drivers on the soft tires, we'll definitely be looking to be pitting by that point. So Tap Purple coming through there, still holding the lead as we're coming to the end of lap 8 here. But Petrol is in that slip. Is Petrol going to look? He is. But Tap is going to defend the inside line. He's going to make him make the move on the outside here. But that Mercedes should have a little bit more on the top end than that Genesis X currently has here in the game. And you can see that. Petrol has just... No. Tap is going to answer back into turn 1. So here we go. Battle for the lead, folks. Which driver is going to hold it coming through turn 1 here? Petrol's on the outside line here. Tough line to hold. Oh, getting a little bit wide there. Looked like there was enough room left, so a little deep on the brakes. Got into the marbles. Tap getting the lead back. Petrolhead remaining in 2nd place. We've seen much of the same thing here in this back pack here. Pigham's up into 3rd. Bar 27 in 4th. And Supra in 5th. So Bar now moving up very quickly. This is good for Bar as Doug is a few positions behind here. And Bar is trying to chase Doug Bro for 2nd overall in the standings. So Bar 27 now in 4th place. Supra in 5th, so he's lost a couple positions there as well, dropping off the podium. Unseen Throne, who was our leader early on in the race here, back down into 6th. Just needs to gather it back up here. Tro and Kobe chasing, 1.6 seconds behind, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. That front pack here, looking to get caught back up and get some slipstream and get in that battle. Doug and Hair Razor now only 6 seconds off that pack up front, so working together is starting to allow these guys to catch up. Type R, 750 in 10th place, Type R in 11th with Magic Man 5500 very close behind. So again, these two guys potentially start working together. They can start pulling up on the guys ahead. And Happy Pappy in a tough spot. He's in no man's land here, but potentially on a harder compound tire here by Pappy, judging by the times here. So maybe looking for a really long run out of that Aston Martin. This can be very interesting to see. But our current race leader, very early 16 minutes into our race here, ladies and gentlemen, is Tap. And we see Petrol there with a half-second track limit penalty. That is going to pull 3rd and 4th place right back into this fight. And here we go. So Bar 27 getting the job done on Pigham. So Bar now into 3rd place as these guys go around turn 1 here. And Bar got a really good exit there. Pigham's just in behind and Supra in 5th place. Gaining on those guys just a little tiny bit, it looked like as well. No, Supra making a mistake. Ooh, tap from Bar 27 there. Didn't seem to affect Petrol too much there. If anything, it hurt Bar more. Oh, and there's that first curve. That's what happens when you get on the X. See that Bar 27 getting really loose there. So Petrol able to get away from Bar 27 a little bit there. A couple little mistakes by Bar 27. That's put him under pressure by TPC Pigham's here again. So new Supra versus old Supra here currently in the race right now. Ooh, and Barr getting it a little bit wrong on exit there again. And that should allow Piggums to gain on bar 27 here as we're coming around this long run coming into the bus stop here. So, unfortunate there for bar 27. Super, you can see, he can still see him, but they are out there. So, hopefully him and Unseen Throne can hook up here, and these guys can start pushing a little bit of draft here, and they can punch that hole a little bit bigger and gain a little bit of time on their laps here. We have seen this been working for Doug and Hairraiser, and Tron Colby now in this fight here in P7. He has got on the back of these two drivers, so Tron Colby back in the fight here, trying to move his way back up the pack. Doug still in 8th place here, and 5.2 seconds behind, so they are slowly gaining on those cars up ahead here. Hairraiser has lost Doug a little bit here, so both these drivers in no man's land. These guys need to hook back up here and start pushing the envelope, but 750 gaining on Hairraiser, so potentially could start a three-way slipstream if these guys play this all right here. Type R is in 11th. He's kind of there all alone. You can see MacMillan, he is lagging a little bit there, but slowly starting to gain on that Toyota FT1 there. And Happy Pappy here in 13th, a little bit off the pace, but again, all these drivers potentially playing different strategies here today. So Tap still in the lead here, and Tap is due. Tap is most certainly due. We haven't seen Tap win a race in a while, and we know he can win them. So without a question of a doubt, we know that Tap is due for an absolutely beauty of a race here today. We got Jake Batty coming in with that heart, and Nolander Gaming coming in with the big old K as well on the stream. Much love, you guys. We appreciate all the support here, GT45 Gaming. Everybody viewing on the Gtrc YouTube, welcome as well. Hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast so far. It is going to be a very long race here today, and so far it's been an exciting one. So what we're starting to see now, ladies and gentlemen, is the drivers starting to worry about things like their tires, things like their fuel. They're looking at how long they're into the race. They're looking at their live timing on these inside these race cars on their dashboards. They know how long into the race they are. Their crews are relaying vital information from the race car to them. So now they're trying to make decisions at this point at when they should come in for a pit stop. Are they going to try and do a one stop? Are they doing a two stop? Are we doing a three stop? In my honest opinion, without really knowing what these guys are thinking, I'm definitely thinking a one-stop is a long-shot strategy here for a 90-minute race at Daytona with the multipliers. I believe they are 3 and 3 for this series. 3 times fuel and 3 times tires, which means every time these guys go around the racetrack, they're using essentially 3 laps worth of fuel and tires per lap. So I don't know if one-stop strategy really is feasible. There is potential 1 to 2 drivers that may be on that strategy, however, based off of what I've seen visually so far. So it'd be interesting to see if it does work, if that is the case. I think the most viable strategy on most drivers' minds is most certainly probably a two-stop race here, so 30-minute splits. So we'll probably see a lot of these drivers start pitting around that 30-minute mark. If we see drivers pitting at the 30-minute mark, it's a definite that these guys are on a two-stop setup. However, with all the battling that these drivers have been doing lately, it is very possible that... Did we lose a driver? I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, we got Petrolhead in the lead here. Bar 27 now in second. We got Piggums in third. Supers in fourth. Trone's in fifth. Unseen in sixth. Doug in seventh. Hairraiser in eighth. Type R in ninth. Matchman in 10th. Tap in 11th. So he may have pit. So Tap may have pit. So Tap is in 11th. We see 750 coming out of pit lane. We got Happy Pappy coming in. We're not going to show the pit stops. I don't want to create any spectator glitching today, guys. I do apologize about that. We're just trying to get the best broadcast out to you. Last week's broadcast was tough due to some glitching issues via my end of things, and we're trying to avoid that this week. So we won't be reviewing the pit stops. But as I was explaining about strategies, as we're starting to see some strategies coming out of the drivers now, two stop is probably the most viable strategy on most of the drivers' minds. It's looking like, however, though, we're seeing multiple stop strategies, i.e. a 3-stop strategy as well. In the back of my mind, I kind of felt like some of these guys were going to run a 3-stop strategy here today, and we could be right there. So what we should expect to see is probably mainly a 2- and 3-stop style setups here from these drivers. And Petro hard on the brakes as we see those tires smoking around turn 1, and that is not going to be good for them tires. So we got Unseen Throne coming into pit lane. We now got Doug Barrow coming into pit lane. So 2-stop strategy may be a stretch here too as well, ladies and gentlemen. With, again, the fuel and the tires that these cars are using, it could be a stretch. So it's going to be interesting to see. 3-stop strategy, we're definitely starting to see already, as we're starting to see some pit stops being made already by the drivers. Nope, nope. Let's not do that. Alright, Petrohead in first place. Let's jump on board with our leader here for the remainder of this lap. He's coming into the bus stop, so great time to jump on board with this, our Mercedes driver, Petrohead here, as the bus stop is so much fun to go through. If you're a racer, if you're a sim racer, and you love Daytona, you know exactly what I mean. It's like a kid in a candy store, man. It's just like, woohoo, how fast can I go through here? And you can see really late on the brakes there. Great rotation in that Mercedes. Down into third gear, back into fourth. No, staying in third gear there. Maybe doing a little bit of tire saving here we're seeing from our leader, Petrohead, currently. Just the way he shifted through that corner, I would suspect most of the time you'll see them upshift to fourth gear to get that better exit speed out of the bus stop, but not the case here today. And we are going to see Petrol coming in for a pit. We're going to see Bar 27 coming in for a pit. And we're going to see Pigham's opt to stay out a little longer. So, interesting. Alright. So, 23-minute mark, we are seeing pit stops here. 20 to 23 minutes so far. We're seeing pit stops from our drivers. And that is setting up for at least a 3-stop strategy here. We also see Troll and Kobe now jumping up into second place after all these drivers have made their pit stops. So, potentially 3 drivers here pushing for a 2-stop strategy, so quite interesting. The majority of the field is looking like they are on a 3-stop style strategy here, so let's get you guys some information. Let's get some info up for everybody. So TPC Pigham's here. Just been showing great patience so far in the race. Currently in the race lead, so we've seen the race lead change hand multiple times already in the race today, and that's not going to change throughout our 90-minute race here today. But Pigham's currently in the lead. As you can see, pit stops are starting to happen. We got Tro and Kobe here in second place as well. So again, in the other Toyota Supra here on track. Now the Toyota Supras and the Mercedes AMG GT3 cars have proven to be the dominant cars here today, so we'll have to see if that continues as the race progresses. Hairraiser in that 1997 Toyota Supra here as well. So he's in third place currently. He's, again, just being a calm, patient, strategic driver that Hairraiser is. We got Type R in that Toyota FT1 here, currently sitting in fourth place here in the race. We have Tap, who was our first driver to make a pit stop here, currently sitting in fifth place. So when these 4 drivers up ahead, ideally for Tap, he should retain the race lead back after those drivers finally do decide to make a pit stop. We got Petrohead here in 6th place. Again, he's also just made his pit stop, so sitting in the position he was in before he went in, of course. Bar 27 here sitting in 7th, currently on track, also with a pit stop made. Unseen thrown here, and the other Mercedes AMG was the race leader for the first 8 laps of the race, and then a little bit of just a tough lap and dropping back a few positions. So currently sitting in P8 here, and he is with a pit stop made as well. Ooh, and a little bit of a glitch there from Petrolhead, so from Unseen Throne. So everything's okay on his end there. We got Supra in behind here. 9th also has made a pit stop here. We've got Doug Barrow in 10th, who has made a pit stop officially. 750 as well, who has made an official pit stop here. Magic Man 5500, who we see go into the pits as well. Happy Pappy still in pit lane here. Pigham's, our leader, has not pit yet, and Hairraiser, our second place driver, has yet to pit. So we have 2 drivers still owing pit stops here, and the rest have made a pit stop. So when we're just talking about the strategies, it is looking like the 3-stop strategy is the choice for most of the drivers here. So we're definitely going to see some different tire compounds. We're going to see some pace change. We're going to see some position changing, and that's going to be very interesting to see what happens at the end of this race. But Pigham's in the lead, and 15 seconds up the road from Hairraiser in second place as we're coming through the bus stop here. So I guess the question is, does Pigham's pit this time around? That's what I was looking for here. We're just checking our audios. We're just making sure everything's still remaining working. Again, this is a fairly new overlay. Sometimes they do cause issues. So again, if something isn't working correctly, please don't hesitate to let us know in one of the chats, and we'll make sure to make that correction for everybody as quickly as possible. We do appreciate all the constructive criticism and feedback here at the page, and hope everybody's enjoying the race so far tonight. So Pigham's staying out for another lap here. What about Hair Razor? Hair Razor opting to stay out as well. So here we go. We got Tap now up into third place. We did see a couple drivers just make some stops there, but he is good to serve a penalty, so that's going to hurt a little bit for Tap's pace here. And that's going to allow Petrolhead and Bar 27 just in behind to close the gap a little bit more. 2.7 seconds. You can see the gap closing. 2.3, 2.2, 2.1. Down to 2 seconds. 1.9, 1.8. So that half-second penalty essentially cost him about a full second there. So definitely want to keep those corners right and tight and avoid those track limit penalties from our officials here at Daytona. Trone in 6th place. Unseen Throne and Supra here. A little battle for 7th and 8th place here currently on the racetrack. Let's stick with this. Let's see what happens here. Again, we got the Mercedes-AMG GT3 car. I believe it's 2016 this car. And then we have the 1987 Silhouette Nissan Skyline GTR. Old school, ladies and gentlemen, chasing that Mercedes. So to see a car that old still have the fight in it is fantastic here. And a little bit of lag starting to develop with Unseen Throne here as the race is progressing. So hopefully his internet connection is going to hold out here for him. You can see Supra here starting to close the gap up just a little tiny bit here. Moving down through our field. Doug now up into P9 here. So Doug grabbing another position. Purple as well. 3/10 up. 750 in 10th place here. Type R in 11th with Magic Man 5500 right still in behind. You can see him, he's lagging a little bit today too as well. So, and Pappy having some issues with the car, so the crew taking a look at that Aston Martin V12 Vantage in pit lane. We'll see if they get that thing back out on track here for him today. But Pigham's going around again, so definitely looking like Pigham's and Hair Razor are on that 2-stop strategy. Hair Razor is going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving here. It looks like they'd quite make that work, as he didn't quite make that 30-minute mark there. So TPC Pigham so far the only driver to be able to stretch that fuel far enough to hit a 30-minute mark here. So we're going to see Pigham's most certainly pit stopping here at the end of this lap. He's probably not going to have enough fuel to go around another time. So Tap now moved back up into 2nd place here. He is 35 seconds behind Pigham's. I don't think that is going to be a big enough time split for Pigham's to come back out in front of Tap here, but it should put him out fairly close behind these guys. It'd be interesting to see. Petrohead here in 3rd place. He's been having a fantastic race here. That Mercedes, he's definitely been challenging these drivers with that Mercedes here today. Bar 27 in 4th place, and he's just being very patient here in the 2nd stint so far. He's just tucked in behind Petrohead and just using that draft. Trone now up to 5th place, so moving his way back up the field is Trone Kobe. Having an incident for first lap, 2nd corner, not sure what happened, not sure if there was contact or if he just made a mistake on exit and spun that car sideways, went from about 5th place all the way to the back of the pack, and now moving his way back up into 5th place. So again, Toyota Supra proving to be very dominant here at Daytona as well. Supra in 6th place here in that old school GTR, doing very well with it here. And you can see Unseen Throne starting to lose a little bit of pace on that Nissan in front. So dropping a position to Supra there into 7th place, but right there in behind, using up some slipstream there. Doug catching these guys here now. This is good for Doug Barrow. He needs some slipstream help with that BRZ, and he is right on these guys. So some potential to grab some positions and get a little further up the track a little quicker here for Doug Barrow. Hair Razor in 9th after his pit stop here. So about where he was before the round of pit stop started. 750 with a half-second track limit penalty. That's going to hurt him a little bit. And again, these two drivers not really battling. They're just kind of chilling in behind each other. So Tap does come back out with the lead here as we're coming around turn 1. Petrohead does get 2nd. Bar up into P3. Oh, and a little bit of contact between the two drivers here. Really unfortunate. You can see Bar 27 waiting for Petrol to get back on track here. Give him that position back. Sorry, mate. I totally didn't mean to do that. That was my bad. Petrol remaining in 2nd place there. So just good sportsmanship there by Bar 27. Obviously not intentional. He got into the back of him a little bit there. But Trone Colby gaining a spot here, moving into podium position. 3rd place for Trone Colby now due to the incident in front. So Trone Colby sitting back on the podium here. Bar 27 in fourth. You can see just behind is TPC Piggums. So good call by our broadcaster, GT45 Gaming there, figuring that Piggums would come out just behind those guys in that pit stop. So let's get all that juiciness back off the screen here. And let's get to racing, shall we? Supra in 6th place. 3.3 seconds behind that Toyota Supra up ahead. So it'll be interesting to see if he can close that gap up. Unseen Throne here is settled into his mid-race pace here. I don't think he's really in too much of a hurry to force the issue on Supra up ahead. He just doesn't want to lose him. Doug's starting to close in. He's almost in the slipstream of that Mercedes up in front here. So Doug here trying to make up as much ground as he can here. And there we go. Great exit by Doug. So let's jump on board with Doug here. As he's trying to get the job done. You can see Unseen Throne go real high there, getting a little bit on that wall. But you can see that Mercedes power is keeping Unseen Throne right there. He can't lose him. So you can see the Mercedes pulling back up. So here we go, coming into the corner. Ooh, a little bit of wall there from Unseen Throne again. And really late on the brakes is Doug at that BRZ. Is Unseen Throne going to look for a cutback here? No, he's just going to sit in behind, look for a good exit. And great defense there by Doug Burrow in the BRZ. So great racing here by these two drivers. You can see Unseen Throne is looking for a way around. Unseen Throne figures that car has the pace. He just can't find his way back around. But Doug picking up a track limit penalty there. So a half-second penalty for Doug. So now all Unseen has to do is just stay in behind, stay close. And he's going to get that position for free. So he doesn't need to do anything too serious here. He just needs to stay close. Let's see how he handles this here. As now we're on board with our 8th place driver, Unseen Throne, in that Mercedes AMG GT3 car. And you can see that BRZ really is just spectacular in these in the turning sectors of Daytona Road Course here. But you can see the Mercedes is going to make a ton of time back up on Doug here on the bank corner coming in towards the bus stop. So Doug needs an absolutely spectacular bus stop sector here, and make sure he keeps it clean. Doesn't want to pick another penalty up here. That half second is going to hurt that BRZ. So Doug is beautiful line through the bus stop there by Doug Barrow. You can see Unseen Throne there. Almost got it on the throttle just a hair too soon there and almost pushed that track edge there. So great job by Unseen Throne to recognize he was a little bit offline there. But we're going to see this Mercedes potentially even almost move on this BRZ before the penalty serving zone. So Doug's going to take the high line here. And we're going to see Unseen Throne make that move for 7th place here. And look how much time that BRZ is going to lose here now coming into corner 1. You can see that time, 8 tenths, 9 tenths. It'll be almost a second by the end of corner 1 here. But Doug should make all that time back up on the infield sector in that BRZ. So my apologies. There we go. Back out to our TV crew here. Is doing a spectacular job here. Great shot of this horseshoe corner at Daytona Road Course, turn 2, ladies and gentlemen. Well, technically turn 4, or 3 maybe, I don't know, 4. There's lots of little weird corners right there. But great shot by our camera crew there from the Helicams. So Unseen Throne back up at the P7 there now. Doug chasing again. Hair Raiser in 9th. 750. He's got a buddy here right in behind. So 750 can tuck in behind Hair Raiser here. These guys can try to start to close that 16-second gap up into that front pack of drivers. Type R Magic Man 5500, they're still hanging out very close behind here. We see Pappy still in pit lane, so Tap still in the lead, 5.9 seconds. Good juicy lead here. How's it going, Paul Trucks, my man? How are you doing? Good evening to you, sir. Coming in with that like and that share as well. Much love. Appreciate everybody for stopping through. Double share from Mr. Paul Trucks. Absolute legend himself on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is fast, Mr. Paul Trucks. Tap in first place. Bar 27 battling Tron Colby. There we go. That's what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for these guys to start to close back up, and here we go. So Tron Colby now battling for 2nd place in the race. So Tron Colby going from P3 start down into the mid-pack to having an incident, dropping all the way to the back of the field, and 36 minutes into this race, Tron Colby has found his way back into 2nd place. Mr. Tap, look out. Tron Colby's a-coming. Bar 27 here in 3rd place, still putting the pressure on Tron here, so let's see what happens. We got Petrol in 4th and Piggums in 5th. 4-way battle for that podium here. And you can see just up ahead is Tap, so Tap is not that far away. If these guys just opt to tuck in behind each other and work together for a couple of laps here, they could very quickly turn this into a 5-way battle for first place. So it's all on these drivers to decide what they're going to do here. So Petrohead now down. He is right on that bumper of bar 27. You can see Piggums is just sitting in behind there. He's not taking a look. He's just tucking in. Let's see what happens here. If the drivers are smart, they would just tuck in behind each other and start to close that gap on tap in front. 4 cars are going to be much faster than 1 car by itself on the racetrack, as long as the guys can play nice. Supra here in 6th, looking for that battle to keep enveloping so he can start to make that time up on that pack, as he's 5 seconds behind that 4-way battle for podium position up in front. On board with our helicopter cam here, we got Troll and Kobe coming up into the bus stop. This is a great camera shot here by our crew. An absolutely great look at the bus stop there. Bar 27 cutting that third apex a little bit. Yes, he does pick up that track limit penalty there. And that will drop him down to the back of this battle for 3rd place. So unfortunate there for Bar 27. And you can see he's going to serve that penalty here right away. So Petro's going to get a freebie. And Piggums might grab that position here as well. So there we go. Petrohead does get around bar 27. So now where's Piggums going to fall in here? I think Piggums is probably just going to settle in behind coming into turn 1 here and just follow him through the infield and wait for the next lap to try and make the move. Ooh, bar 27. Absolutely had that Toyota Supra all up in his business under braking there. So a little bit of pressure on Piggums on bar 27 here now as we're coming around this first very, very hard right-hand hairpin corner. Drone getting a little bit awkward out of that corner, but gets a good exit still. Great shot. Hey, shout out to our helicopter guys out there today, man, here at Daytona. They are giving us some great camera angles today. Supra here in 6th. You can see Unseen Throne just in behind, and Doug has started to close that gap back up. So you can see that BRZ's prowess through this infield sector here. Hairraiser and 750 in 9th and 10th place here. They're starting to close up. So are they? No, they still have not gotten close enough to really start pushing that gap on that front pack yet. But definitely a slipstream, hopefully partnership starting to envelop there potentially. Type R here in 11th. The Matchman falling off the pace a little bit of Type R there. So those guys kind of stuck out in no man's land and not the best place to be. So we did see a 5.9 second lead from tap to that pack. And since these guys have stopped battling, that lead is dropping. 3.3 seconds. So here we go. The driver's starting to settle down. Hey, with the exclamation point notify up in the chat there by Mr. Paul Trucks. We absolutely appreciate you, my guy. Absolutely appreciate you turning on those live notifications. Absolute huge love. Much love, my man. Much love. So our leader again, Tap. He's in trouble here now. This group has realized, hey, we see what's happening here with that live timing now. Yeah, let's keep working together. So Trone and Petrohead closing up the gap on the leader here very quickly. A battle for the lead is going to start developing here. Bar 27 now a little bit off these guys, 2.3 seconds, and Piggums right there in behind. Piggums has just been playing super patient and super smart here so far in this second stint of the race. So we haven't seen exactly what is up Piggums' sleeves yet here in this race. Supra here in 6th place, and again, different strategies from a lot of our drivers here today. Unseen Throne in 7th. Now, having a great qualifier, having a great race start. He started P2, got a whole shot right off the line, and was in 1st place for the first 8 laps of the race. Picked up a penalty, had a little bit of an incident on track, and dropped himself down all the way into the mid-pack here. So now he's been trying to fight his way back up. So, be interesting to see what happens here from Unseen Throne. Doug Barrow now all up in his business here, though, so Doug going to be looking for a slipstream here, and we know how Doug Barrow is. Doug Barrow is going to want to be in front of this driver, so we're probably going to see Doug Barrow try and make a move on Unseen Throne, and have Unseen Throne ideally sitting behind him and push him, is what Doug would most... In Doug's mind, that's ideal to him. I know Doug quite well, but we'll see how he plays it out here. Hairraiser in 9th with 750 in 10th, so that is our top 10 drivers here so far. And you can see that Mercedes is so strong on that poor BRZ, or Z, depending where you're watching from, behind that Mercedes. But he's going to make up a lot of time here as we get through the bus stop, because the BRZ could just hold that line so much crisper and quicker. And right back on the gas. So taking a little bit of a shallower exit there, just trying to maximize his exit speed in that BRZ. Compared to the Mercedes that just has that torque and horsepower in behind it. So, but you can see that Mercedes pulling the gap on Doug here. So Doug has to really work hard on the infield sector to get up on that Mercedes to get it just right to get the move done, or hope that Unseen makes a mistake. But battling hard with that Mercedes up in 7th place, so great job by these two drivers. Supra here in P6, and he's been having a great race in that old school Nissan GTR, so huge credits to him to taking one of the oldest GT3 cars available to race and race this thing around here, and he's having a great result so far with it, so still proving to be quite worthy. Pigham's here in 5th place at 2018 Toyota Supra, I believe it is. And you can see him chasing that 1997 Supra in bar 27 here in 4th place. So lots of different cars on the track here. The rule is on that is you can only have 2 of the same car on the racetrack in this series. So that's why we're only seeing 2 Toyota Supras, 2 Mercedes AMGs, 2 older Supras, 2 of any. That's why we're not seeing more than 2 of the same car on the racetrack. Bar 27 here in 4th place. Just looking fantastic. Petrohead has now grabbed 2nd place for Tyrone Colby there as well. Again, these guys just kind of playing the slipstream game. That's what happens when you're bump drafting. It gets to a point where one driver, as you can see, Tyrone there, he's going to slingshot back around Petrohead. They'll come through the bus stop. Petrohead will tuck right back in behind Tyrone Colby, and these guys will just rinse and repeat, and then Petrohead will take 2nd place from Tyrone, and they'll just continue to push each other. This way they're not losing any time, and they're just using all that extra overspeed from bump drafting to continue to gain time on the leader. That gap was 3.3, is now 1.6. So in 2 laps, these guys have shaved that time in half. In another 2 laps, these guys are going to be on top of Tap. So bar 27 and Pigham's doing much of the same thing here. They're just kind of chilling together. They're just kind of working together. They're not quite as close together front to nose to tail as the 2 drivers in front, but they're still 2 seconds away, so they haven't gained any time. They haven't lost any time. And Super just doing everything he can. He is losing time because he does not have that slipstream partner right now currently on the racetrack. But Unseen thrown in 7th place in that Mercedes is starting to catch up with Doug Burrow chasing. So potentially something could start happening here for these 3 drivers if they can all link up. Hairraiser in 9th place, and he's in no man's land. He's in a tough spot. Hopefully the next pit stop could really work out well for him and get him tucked in behind another driver, and he can make some time up here. Type R in 11th. Magic Man 5500 in 11th now. 750 and 12th. Maybe making a pit stop or having an incident on track. And that other Aston Martin looking like it's having some pretty good malfunctions. So potentially may not see the V12 of Happy Pappy back on track here today. We'll have to see. So now you see Tyrone Colby still in 2nd place there. You see Petrohead just pushing. And Tap, he's stressing now. He can see these guys in his rearview mirror. Let's get on board with him here. Let's see what he can see. You know, comfortable 6-second lead, just chilling, running my laps, and feeling good. And then you look behind, and this is what you see. Oh, what happened to my lead? Okay, I gotta get going. I have got these guys absolutely tracking me down. So Tap is in a very tough position here currently right now. He's by himself. He doesn't have a buddy. And he's got these guys all up in his business, and pit time. So here we go, Tyrone Colby and Tap going into pit lane. Petrol opting to stay out. So here we go, 45-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen, and we got these drivers stopping. So interesting strategies happening here. So Petrohead now in the lead by 2 seconds. Barr moving up into P2. Pigham's in P3, and we have got a whole slew of drivers in pit lane here. So from P4 through 8 are in pit lane. We got Hairraiser coming around here. What is Hairraiser going to do? Hairraiser is going to stay out. So Hairraiser should leapfrog some position here as he comes around turn 1. Let's see how he comes out compared to our drivers in pit lane. As pit exit is, of course, just at the end of turn 1 and 2 and 3 here. And there's pit exit. So you can see Tyrone just coming up behind Hairraiser there. So Hairraiser moves up into 4th. Tyrone right in behind. Tap in 6th. And a whole bunch more in pit lane. So Type R in 10th. Magic Man 5500 in 11th. 750 in 12th. One driver's having some kind of issues with his car. Sitting in pit lane. Still working out that issue. We got chat popping off over here. GT45 Gaming Facebook. They are flexing them muscles. Followage for 219 days from Paul Trucks. Much love, brother. Much love. Appreciate all that patronage. Nolander Gaming for 354 days, 2 days away from the 1-year anniversary from Nolander Gaming. Much love, appreciate your support too, my guy. Legends, absolute legends. Nolander Gaming over on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. He has done some commentary for us here with the GTRC community as well, and we do look forward to hopefully seeing him coming back in to do more commentary with GT45 and the GTRC community as well. So stay tuned for more coming for the new season. We may see Mr. Nolander Gaming and GT45 Gaming bringing you guys multiple lobby action live at GTRC in the new year. So fantastic stuff. Absolutely appreciate all the love here. And of course, everybody on the GTRC YouTube, if you're enjoying the content, you like the racing, you like the commentary, you just like everything about what's been going on here so far, please don't hesitate to like and share this out. Tag your friends in the comments. Everybody on the Facebook stream, tag all your friends, bring everybody in here, show them what we're doing here, give them a little taste of what happens over here at the GTRC community. And let's get this thing popping. These guys are racing their butts off here. We're a little over halfway now, 48 minutes into 90 minutes. This is a long one, ladies and gentlemen. It is a finale night though, and the way this race is shaking up so far, we could see Bar 27 potentially pass Doug Barrow for second place overall in the series. So huge implications are starting to happen in this race. It's going to be very interesting to see the last 20-15 minutes of this race again amp up. We got Vic coming in with the thumbs up. Much love. Look at these legends coming in here tonight. I'm not sure why my alert box isn't working though. Maybe I just can't hear it. Vic coming in with 342-day followage. Big flexing from all the love in the chat here. The OGs are in the house. I appreciate it, my friend. Very much looking forward to it. We look forward to seeing you come back, my friend. That is for sure. Mr. Vic, an OG as well, almost at the year mark himself. Absolute legend that guy is, let me tell you. Alright, we don't want to watch pit stops. We don't want cars going invisible. That's not what we're about here today. So Pigham's now in the race lead. The only driver really on the viable two-stop is TPC's Pigham's and Hair Razor. Hair Razor, however, had to come in a little bit early before the 30-minute mark on his first on the first stop there. So it's going to be interesting to see if Hair Razor is going to have enough fuel in that car to make the two-stop work. The majority of these drivers are looking like they're on a 3, even potentially a 4-stop strategy. So quite interesting. Tap in third place. He's been leading a large portion of this race, but Tron Kobe now out in front. Hair Razor in fourth place. Again, another driver on the potential two-stop strategy here, and he's in this fight for podium now. Bar 27 in fifth place. Bar 27 needs to finish quite a few positions ahead of Doug Barrow here to leapfrog Doug in the standings, but he is in position to potentially do it here so far in the race today. Petrol in sixth place. We've seen Petrol battling for podium all race long here, so definitely don't count this gentleman out here either today, ladies and gentlemen, as that Mercedes has proven to be very, very hard to beat at Daytona. Supra in seventh place, and making that old school silhouette GTR really look really good here against all these new GT3 cars on track. Unseen thrown in that other Mercedes. A little bit rattled potentially maybe by that one tough lap he had going from the race lead to sixth place. He just really hasn't seemed to be able to make that distance back up. So not sure if he's just settling in and he's got something up his sleeve, or if he's just a little bit rattled on track currently. We got Doug in ninth place. Doug, he knows he's in trouble just with the car he has to drive on the track here. Of course, opting to go with that Subaru BRZ, depending where you're watching from, all season long. And of course they've been nerfing it and pounding it into the ground, and it's been getting progressively harder and harder to drive and keep up pace on a high-speed circuit such as Daytona all season long. So he was definitely worried coming into the race today about that lead he had over Bar 27 for second overall in the championship standings. Now, Bufu Shidara, who's not on track today, ladies and gentlemen, has again secured the GT3 championship officially after last weekend, or 2 weekends ago's race at Spa, and Bufu Shidara opting to celebrate with his family today instead of being on track racing. So much love. Hope him and his family are very well. And congratulations to Bufu Shidara for a successful GT3 championship season this season. It was a tough one for him. He did face some adversity. He had a disconnect in one race. He had a couple of issues. He missed a race, so I mean, to lock that championship down before the end of the season goes to show how tough of a competitor Bufu Shidara really is. And it's going to be interesting to see what he brings in next season, of course, when the new season arrives here at the GTRC. So, huge shout out to Bufu Shidara, our GTRC GT3 championship winner this season here. So, and he was driving that Porsche 911 RSR all season long, proving to be a very, very worthy car. Looking at a windscreen, doing 4 mile per hour, LOL, hashtag farm life. Hey, facts, Vic, facts. Living the dream, my guy, living the dream, right? So Pigham's with a 35-second gap. Now, we've seen this gap last time before Pigham's opted to pit. I guess the big question is can Pigham's open the gap up further? Or is he going to lose time because the other drivers in behind have buddies to work with? So you can see Tyrone Colby here in second. He's got Tap. Tap's right there to work with him. They can continue to drip that time down off of Pigham's. So what's this going to do to TPC's Pigham's two-stop strategy here? Hair Razor in 4th place. Also another driver on the two-stop strategy here. So that's gotten him back up into the fight for podium potentially here. A Bar 27 here in 5th place, having a fantastic race here. And he needs it to leapfrog Doug for 2nd overall. Petrohead here in 6th place. He's been having a great race here too. Again, one of these drivers has been battling up front all race long, but pit strategy starting to factor in for a little bit for some of the drivers here. Supra in 7th, and he has Unseen thrown all up in his business. So let's jump on board with this battle here. Oh, might have been a little bit of contact there from the two drivers potentially. Just as I went to go check out the camera angle, we see Petrohead went really wide there. He might have just went late on the brakes and went deep, or there was just a slight amount of contact between the two drivers. We're not sure yet, but... And you can see you cannot get on the throttle on that curb. Both those cars, the Mercedes behind also getting a little bit sideways, getting under throttle on that first curb. So, good for Doug Barrow in behind. He's just like, yes, boys, yes, yes. Keep making those little mistakes. Excellent, excellent. So... mistake from Supra, mistake from Unseen Throne. Unseen Throne not able to capitalize going into turn 1. And Doug Burrow's like, thanks, boys. I'm back in the slipstream. Let's go. So here we go. Doug Burrow looking for a great exit there from that BRZ. And he is going to try and hang on to the back end of that Mercedes here now as he is going around the oval. And you can see him just trying to square up his nose to the back end of that car to try and grab as much of that draft as he can to get pulled back into these cars. But that poor BRZ just not on the top end, having a hard time keeping up with these bigger horse-powered cars here at Daytona. Coming around the corners here, great lines from Doug. Ooh, he's going to pick up a track limit there. Really unfortunate there from Doug Barrows. You can see him cut that third apex a little bit too much. No, they're going to let him get away with that. So Doug Barrow getting a freebie from our race stewards here, and good stuff for Doug Barrow. Okay, keeps him in the battle here. 750 in 10th place. Let's get back to that TV crew here. We got Type R in 11th. The Magic Man 5500 is still right on his rear end, but these drivers are getting a blue flag here. So TPC Pigham's is starting to catch up to the backside of the field here at Daytona today. So strategies are starting to show. And Magic Man 5500 maybe making a move there on Type R up ahead. So blue flag guys here at GTRC are real good considerate guys. They typically will just let the lead guy through. But again, they are still entitled to their battle if they are battling for position. So if that is the case, say in this example where it's not the case, you can see Magic Man just backed out there, let Pigham's go through. They are allowed to continue their battle, and it's actually the responsibility of the lead lap car to find a safe way around or just sit behind and wait for the battle to finish till they can get through. So they are entitled to their battle, and you can see a good example of just good sportsmanship there. Magic Man 5500 going, I got lots of time to battle with Type R here yet. Let's just let him go through here so I can catch back up. You can see Type R doing much of the same thing, and Magic Man 5500 taking advantage and going up the inside of Type R, and there you go. Advantages of playing nice, ladies and gentlemen. Magic Man 5500 making a decision, sending it through there, following the leader through, grabbing position on Type R. Very smart play by Magic Man 5500 right there, ladies and gentlemen. Hats off to you, my man. Very well done. So Pigham's back on the road here again. He's got some traffic in between him and those guys chasing now. But you can see 30-second gap now, so losing some time being behind those guys. Trone, Colby, and Tap doing a really good job at working together here. And they're just dripping into TPC Pigham's time here. So it's going to be interesting to see when the next round of pit stops goes for the drivers on a different strategy, where these guys end up in front of or in behind in relation. Bar 27, 9 seconds off that front pack. So Bar 27 in 4th place, losing the pace a little bit. Hair Raiser now in 5th place behind Bar 27. So you can see some damage on the back rear quarter panel of Hair Raiser's car there. So he's been racing hard here today. Petrohead here in 6th place as well in that Mercedes AMG. And let's take a nice look at that as he's coming around that hairpin there. Absolutely great shot there by our cameraman. Coming through the International Horseshoes. We're coming around the final hard corner up the run to the bus stop. And this is where the Mercedes is good. So just doing some fuel saving potentially. And Dugborough now taking advantage of all that beautiful slipstream and the mistakes from the drivers ahead, jumping into 7th place. So he has found his way around Supra and Unseen Throne here, and now leading the charge of this 3-way pack. Unseen Throne just chilling, sitting there in 9th place. We know this guy has the pace. 750 in 10th place, Type R in 11th, and Magic Man 5500 making a mistake there in the background we've seen just before we rotated our cameras through last time around, falling back into 12th place there. So they're having a good little battle between them two, their Type R and Magic Man is. So let's jump on board with Pigham's here as we go around Daytona, and I'm going to just refresh my palette, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely beautiful stuff here by our race leader currently, TPC's Pigham's. Very, very smooth in and out of corners. You can hear very, very little tire squeal coming from this driver, and that is the signs of a very well experienced race car driver. And this guy's quick, ladies and gentlemen. We've had the privilege to be able to commentate a few different leagues that we see this gentleman race in, and no matter where it is where this guy is racing, he seems to be always on point. So he is most certainly one of the guys to look out for the win here today. But you can see that lead is diminishing. It's 27 seconds, and there we go. So we have finally seen the lag, the internet connection of Magic Man 5500 finally get the better of him there, and Magic Man 5500 disconnecting from the race lobby here. So full mechanical failure for Magic Man 5500, and really unfortunate for him, but still will receive points for starting the race here today. So always a positive and a negative, and you know what, it happens. He was having a good race there, and unfortunate to see. Bar 27 in 4th. You can see the drivers have settled in now. We're at that point in the race where things are kind of starting to settle down. You see Doug still in 6th. Unseen has gotten around Supra for 7th, so Supra now down into 8th place. We got 750 with a big 1.5 second penalty there. That's going to hurt as Hair Raiser is chasing intense. So Hair Raiser has made a pit stop as well. So maybe a little bit of a different strategy here for Hair Raiser. We're not sure, but We do have Piggums now coming into pit lane, so Piggums, he's on point for that 2-stop. So here we go, on board with Trone Kobe here as we come around, and Trone and Tap should retain the race lead here as they come around the start-finish line here. You can see Piggums was on that medium tire there in that second stint. And just great lines by both these drivers. Tap putting on a clinic how you drive behind another race car here on the racetrack. He's not missing anything. He's not missing a brake point, a turn mark, nothing. Tap is absolutely sending that Genesis X around this racetrack today and showing what this car really can do for Genesis here in Gran Turismo. So Trone Kobe does have fastest lap on track with a 1:45.4, and currently purple in that sector. So Trone Kobe in the lead. Tap does take second place. That does give Bar 27 third place. Petrohead does jump into fourth, and you can see Piggums comes out 3.2 seconds behind these drivers. So much like the last set of pit stops, Piggums comes back out into fifth place. Doug is up into sixth, and he's only 7 seconds behind Piggums. If he could find a way to catch Piggums, that would be fantastic for Doug's race. We got 750 coming in, 2% fuel there left in that car. Definitely having to come in. Got 17% left fuel in Pappy's car there. He was looking like he was having a good race there, but not sure what's happened to that Aston Martin. So Trone Kobe is our current race leader, and we did say that he was one of these guys to watch out for here today. So in that Toyota Supra, he's found just an incredible amount of pace throughout the season. We've watched him kind of fight for the mid-pack positions and just being happy with fighting for those mid-pack positions to being here today in the finale fighting for the win in the final race of the season. So Trone Kobe has been improving tenfold. He's been putting in a lot of work, and it is showing on the racetrack here, folks. So huge shout out to Trone Kobe. Fantastic to watch the drivers grow and watch them become so quick and watch them competing at a top level. So massive shout out to Trone Kobe here. But Tap is a pro, man. Tap has been around a while. This guy can drive. This guy can race. And when this guy is prepared to race, he is very difficult to beat. Tap all season long has just not been able to make all the races. A little bit of inconsistency due to lack of time to prepare properly. But you can see Tap has been properly preparing for this 90-minute finale here and putting on a clinic with this Genesis against these really strong Supras and Mercedes here in the field. Bar 27, another driver, been around a very long time. The guy is quick. He's a very young man as well. He's only in high school, or just outside of high school at this point now. So still a very young driver, and has very much potential in pace and what he can do in the future as well. So we've seen him improve much this season as well, and just always competing up there with the top runners. Petrohead here, we haven't seen too much of him this season. Very calm, consistent, quick driver. I have gotten the privilege to drive against this driver just in some open lobbies and some fun races, and he's quick. He is very hard to beat. He's a very good, consistent race car driver, and he's shown it here today as well. TPC Piggums, well, we've seen what Piggums can do. We know this guy's quick. We know this guy can think like a race car driver, and he's definitely having a fantastic race here today. And if the strategy works out for him, he potentially has a race win under the belt here for him in the finale as well. So showing some good thought processing and dominance here today is TPC Piggums. Doug Barrow, what can we say? This guy's quick. This guy's on a pad, ladies and gentlemen, and he is just an elite pace driver. This guy is the guy who helps all these drivers find new pace. He helps them give pointers around the racetracks. This is a GTRC community teacher. This is the guy everybody reaches out to if they need some help with a race or a racetrack or a combination or a car. This is the guy that reaches out very willingly, and he helps these guys, and he trains with these guys, and he helps these guys with strategies, and it's been creating some really fantastic racing here at the GTRC. So I mean, huge shout out to Doug Barrow, currently in 4th place right now. This guy is a large reason of why we see drivers like Trone Kobe and Bar 27, and a lot of the other drivers in the field continue to find more and more pace week in and week out. Supra here, just a quick driver. This guy understands racing. He understands how a car works. He understands how a car is designed to be driven around a racetrack, and he's showing that here with this really old school version of a GT3 race car up against all this new technology on the racetrack. He's got this car in P5. So, I mean, all that shows is that this guy knows his way around a race car. And all season long, he's proven that, and he's always a tough competitor. Unseen throwing here, you know, we see bits and pieces of him, but proving to be a very good, fast race car driver as well. He's very consistent, and he's had a good patient racing today. He's got himself back up at the P6 here as well. Tron Colby, I mean, we just talked about Tron Colby at top as well. Hair Razor, one of our admins here, he's a pro as well. He's been around a while. This guy's quick. He hasn't had maybe the ideal season, what we expect to see out of Hair Razor this season, but we can also contribute that to the new amounts of new competition and level of driving that's provided by this community on the racetrack. It's not that he's lost something or slowed down. It's just that all the drivers around him are getting they're perfecting their racecrafts and finding more pace, and it's creating more competitive racing. So it's not that this gentleman is slow, because he is not slow. He is a very fast driver, and it just goes to show that competition on track is getting that much better season in and season out here with the GTRC. So Type R here in 10th place. This guy is an absolute fantastic dude. He's a fantastic race car driver. When he is locked in, he is hard to beat. He could take a pixel and make it wide enough for you not to be able to get around it on a racetrack. This guy is a defensive kid. When he needs to keep a driver behind him, this guy can do it. It is fantastic watching this guy defend. He is absolutely just a workhorse behind the race car, and he can keep a guy behind him for a very long time. He is very good at it. Very good at it. As a race car driver trying to make a move on a driver, you want to get it done quickly. And when a driver's making it difficult on you, it gets frustrated, it can cause you to make a mistake. That mistake gets you to back off, and he just continues along his way. Very good defensive race car driver is Type R. 750 here as well. And just another good, consistent race car driver. Cool, calm, consistent, chill guy. He just constantly learning, constantly soaking it in, and constantly putting it on the track, putting in that work. Car choice this season, probably his biggest downfall with that Aston Martin not being, again, one of those cars that's all that great in a straight line on these high-speed circuits. There's been a fair amount of high-speed circuits on the docket this season, so maybe car choice just not showing everything this guy has to offer on the racetrack. Happy Pappy, sitting in pit lane here, and obviously having an issue with that car, but you know, consistently finding pace. This guy works so hard. He's so chill. He's happy-go-lucky no matter what happens. He's just happy to be on the racetrack with his friends, his family, his community, and he shows it week in and week out. Having some struggles this week, though. That race car just not cooperating. And I mean, these guys put these cars through a lot for a race season. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just have a little bit of a runny nose here. But the guy just constantly improves, and he just enjoys being here and racing and putting the time in. And that's what we love to see in any racing community. It doesn't matter which racing community it is. And he's just that happy-go-lucky guy. He's the guy who's in a chat who's going to absolutely make you bust on the floor, rolling around, slamming your fists on the floor, laughing. He's just an absolute blast to be around. And he always brightens your day when you're in a chat with him. So, a little bit about our drivers here on a personal perspective from your boy here, GT45 Gaming, as a commentator, not only as a commentator, but also friends and a part of this community as well, ladies and gentlemen. Moving forward, GT45 Gaming is the official sponsor of the GTRC community here. GT45 Gaming is going to be providing a full custom graphics package for these guys. So next season is going to have a brand new look. It is going to be exciting. I can't wait to get all that put together, and we are going to be awarding prizes for these drivers as well in their next seasons for all the hard work and their efforts, and of course just a little bit of incentive to make that competition just that much more tighter, right? So that's what we love to see. We love to see good, close, tight racing from these drivers. And again, you know, GT45 Gaming has been working with this community for 3 seasons now, plus their mini championships while they've got their seasons going on. We've been working with these guys for almost a year now, and I love what they do here, and they fit what we do here at GT45 Gaming as a community. So welcome in GTRC to the GT45 Gaming family, and this is going to be an absolute beautiful partnership with these guys. So I'm looking forward to it. It's an honor to be able to provide these things not only as a content creator, but as a brand as well. So These guys give us the action. We bring it to you live on screen, and the drivers will get some pretty cool stuff at the end of next season. So stay tuned to the socials and all the polls, all the links, all that stuff for more information for anything coming up in the future. Nothing is set in stone yet. They are absolutely working on it though, and it's going to be juicy. It's going to be juicy. But you guys got to stay tuned to the socials to really find out what's happening, and of course the Discord servers as well. With that sponsorship comes Gtrc having access into the GT45 Discord community, of course, to keep the community posted and involved with everything that's happening with the Gtrc. So this is the finale, ladies and gentlemen. So in coming weeks, up until after the new year, these guys are just going to have some fun little Saturday events just to keep the guys on track. There might be a chance for the commentator to take a little bit of a well-needed break and get ready for the next season coming up. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for more. But until then, we still got 25 minutes of racing to get on. So Petrohead in the lead. He hasn't pitched yet. Pigums is 9 seconds behind. So it's going to be interesting to see what Petrohead's got going on here. Maybe he's saving enough fuel. Maybe he's making a surprise two-stop here that we're just not aware of. Tron Colby in third place chasing Pigums here, but 21 seconds down the road. So the two-stop showing its prowess here, and there we go. Petrohead coming into pit lane, so no magic tricks up Petrohead's sleeve here. So that will give Pigums the race lead as he comes around the start-finish line here to start lap 41 today, ladies and gentlemen. So far, 41 laps around Daytona Road Course, 73 minutes in. So Pigums will retain that race lead, 3% fuel in that Mercedes. He's going to have to take some fuel there, so he's going to be there for a bit yet. So Pigums now in the race lead. What that race lead is going to be is yet to be determined. We see Tron Colby just coming around here now. Tron Colby may come out just ahead of or just behind Petrol here. We'll have to wait and see as we just see Pigums starting to go around the first horseshoe there. So he does come out ahead of Petrol. So Tron Colby in second place. Where's Barr going to come out here? Petrol, I believe, will be coming out of pit lane shortly. Yes, he just comes in behind Bar 27 and Tap there. So Petrol coming back out in fifth place after that pit stop. So whether or not we've seen full rounds of pit stops, if that's it for this race, it's really hard to say, ladies and gentlemen. There's drivers on 3 stops, there's drivers on 2 stops, and there's drivers potentially on 4 stop strategy here. So Pigums in the lead, 20 seconds. Tron Colby, second place, 8-second gap on the third place driver, Bar 27. Bar 27 in third. He's got a pack of cars behind him. Tap right there in fourth place, just behind. Petrolhead in fifth in the Mercedes. And then Hair Razor just a little bit off these guys, 15 seconds in sixth place. And Doug in seventh. Whether or not that points gap is enough for Bar 27 to catch Doug Burrow at this point, it is hard to say, but it is going to be super, super close. Where everything settles at the end of the season. So you know what, let's jump back over to that while we have a few minutes before this race shakes down here, and let's go take a look at the standings. So there we go. Again, Boo Fushidora locking down that season championship, not having to be here today. Doug Burrow, 136, Bar 27, 127, 9-point difference. Right now, that might be enough. If Bar 27 can maintain this position, not lose any positions, and Doug doesn't gain any, that could be enough for Bar 27 to grab second overall from Doug. Hair Razor just ahead of Doug. He needs to be way ahead of Doug. So Hair Razor may probably sit there still in fourth place. Key not in the race today. So Pigums should most certainly leapfrog Key. So Pigums is going to finish no worse than fifth place this season after coming into the season really late. And then we're going to see Tron Colby jump up those standings as well. Potentially a top 6 finish there for Tron Colby as well. Again, due to Key Tops not being able to be in the race here today. So back to the live action, ladies and gentlemen. Tron Colby here in second, Bar 27 in third. Getting a little bit wrong coming into that horseshoe there. Tap just calm and collected in that Genesis X. Petrohead here, he's got a little bit of time to make up, so we're probably going to see him push at some point Hair Raiser in 6th place, 4 seconds he's made up on Petrolhead here, so Hair Raiser's pushing. Is there a battle there for Hair Raiser yet? We'll have to wait to see. Doug trying to catch Hair Raiser, still 4 seconds back. We'll be keeping our eye on that. Supra here in 8th place, 5 seconds behind Doug and slowly gaining. Unseen Throne in 9th. Not taking our eyes off this gentleman either. There's battles to be had all over this racetrack until the end of this race yet. Oop. But Piggums, 18 seconds. Can Trone Colby shed down the time with 15 minutes remaining? 14 minutes remaining, soon to be 13. We'll have to wait and see. Trone Colby is on his own. It's just straight horsepower and straight push, and send this car with everything it's got to try and catch Piggums. So we'll have to see if he's got it. Piggums is in a good spot here. He's got a nice comfy gap. He doesn't need to force anything. He just needs to run consistent. Bar 27 in 3rd. Again, he needs to finish here in 3rd. And Bar 27 putting the fastest lap in on the racetrack with a 1:45.257. Bar 27 is now the fastest man on the track, ladies and gentlemen, and he is pushing, trying to take the time down on Trone Colby. Bar 27 needs a podium here, and he needs Doug to not finish any higher than 7th place. Tap here in 4th, starting to lose the back end of Bar 27 here a little bit, so Bar 27 definitely starting to put the loud pedal down a little bit. Is that going to be good for him? Is he going to have the fuel, however, to continue to drive like that for the remainder of the race? Petrohead sitting behind, just nice and patient in 5th place, maybe sipping a little bit of fuel, waiting for those guys to burn that extra fuel so he can make his push at the end of the race. See a little bit of damage on that rear fender of that Mercedes, as well as a little bit of that paint is scraped off. Hair Raiser in 6th and trying to bleed the time down. Slowly but surely he is knocking that time gap down on the drivers ahead. Doug Burrow in 7th, slowly but surely chipping away at Hair Raiser up ahead. And Supra is much of the same thing to Doug. Unseen Throne just kind of maintaining right now with Supra, and 750 rounding out that top 10 here. So let's get back up front. Let's see what's happening. Trone Colby shedding another second off of Piggum's lap time here. So maybe we're seeing some different tire compounds at work here as well. We know Piggums has ran 2 medium sets of tires. It would only make sense that he's going to run the last 30 minutes on another set of medium tires. Do I know for sure? No, I am just speculating. Based off of what I'm seeing on the live timing feed, we have different tire compounds from our 1st place driver to our 2nd place driver. We'll bring that information up maybe 5 minutes left of the race. Trone Colby in 2nd, trying to chase Piggums down. I just don't think there's enough time here for Trone Colby unless Piggums makes a big mistake. Bar 27 in 3rd place here, and now has some lap traffic in between him and Tap in 4th place. So a little bit of a cushion here for Bar 27. He's just got to keep it right and tight and keep that car on the racetrack nice and clean. And the runaway here with a 3rd place finish today. Tap in 4th place, and again looking very solid in that Genesis. Petrohead here in 5th, and he's trying to drip a little bit of time off a Tap up in front here. Obviously, every driver looking for the best possible finish they can get here in the race today. Hair Raiser in 6th place, losing time to Petrohead up in front now. Doug gaining time on Hair Raiser, so Doug looking to grab a position here, and Doug needs this position. I think Doug is on the bubble of losing P2 overall here currently right now where he sits on the racetrack, so Doug needs to catch Hair Raiser and I think get this position here. Supra in 8th place. Unseen Throne still right there. He hasn't really lost, he hasn't really gained. And 750 again, quite a ways away. So that top 10 driver is just finishing out this race. He's in no man's land here. He needs a big mistake from a driver in front at this point to gain another position. Mr. Jake Batty, let's go Piggums. Hey. Piggums, though, losing time to Trone Colby in behind. But nice solid 15-second gap here for Piggums. And really, ideally, there's only going to be about 5 laps remaining, so maybe 6. So Trone's going to start shedding about 2.5 seconds a lap off here if he wants any chance of catching TPC Piggums currently on the racetrack. Piggums has just been super consistent, and it shows here. Coming out with a 2-stop strategy and proving to be the top strategy here so far on the racetrack. And again, Toyota Supra on Daytona never hurts either. Trone Colby here in 2nd place. Car matching the racetrack. That's what you hope for as a race car driver in these one pick series. You only get one car for the season, and it's going to be good at some tracks and not so good at others. Today, is a track for the Toyota Supra. Tyrone Colby in second place in the other Toyota Supra. So Toyota Supra proving its dominance here. And then we have bar 27, also in a Toyota Supra, just a 1997 version of that Toyota Supra. So 3 Supras leading the charge on the podium here at Daytona today. Tap in that Genesis, so the first car that's not a Toyota Supra in 4th place, and then being chased by Petrolhead in that Mercedes AMG, which is also a strong car here, and he is starting to close that gap up on Tap here now. Doug has gotten around Hair Raiser, so Doug has done what he needed to do there. He has gotten that position. That could be enough for Doug to keep that second place overall from bar 27. So really well needed move there by Doug Barrow, and he has gotten ahead of Hair Raiser. So now he needs to hold it. He has still got 8 minutes yet. He's got to keep that driver back in behind with a car that just does not have the top end. Supra in 8th place, 5 seconds behind those guys. Let's get back up front and see what's happening. 14 seconds for TPC's Piggums. Tyrone Colby doing everything in his power to catch up to Piggums here. 145.6. The consistency from Tyrone Colby has been pretty good here as well. 145.4, their fastest lap for Tyrone Colby of the race, with a 145.4. Bar 27 coming in with a 44.8 on track there. So he is absolutely cooking. He has that 7-second gap to Tyrone Colby down to 5 seconds. Can Bar 27 grab a P2 here yet today? Tap in 4th. He is starting to get under pressure here from that Mercedes driver, Petrolhead, in 5th place. So we do have some potential battles developing here very near our end of our race. And Hair Raiser has lost Doug just a tiny little bit, so that's not over yet either. Piggums in the lead. We're going to sit here with Tyrone Colby just for a minute. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, so Piggums, 13.4 seconds. Looking pretty good for a good solid race finish here. That time is being torn down by Tyrone Colby in 2nd place. Tyrone Colby in 2nd place in that other Toyota Supra. Everything he can to catch TPC's Piggums up ahead here. Bar 27 also just sending it around this racetrack here in the final closing minutes of this race. And fastest man on the racetrack right now is Bar 27 in that old school Supra. So he is shaking and baking. He is cooking, chat. He is cooking. Tap in 4th place, and he is under pressure. Oh, but Petrol picking up a half-second track limit penalty. That is devastating for Petrolhead in 5th place there, as he's just finally on the charge on Tap. He's going to lose about a second here. He's going to have to make it up. He does have the time, however. Doug Barrow, he has, unless one of these drivers makes a very big mistake, runs out of fuel, has an incident, he is in 6th. He is doing everything he can at this point to keep this driver, Hair Raiser, in that 97 Supra behind him to try and lock down 2nd overall in the series. It is going to be close, folks. It is going to be close. Supra here in 8th place, 4.7 seconds. He is starting to close in on those drivers up front. Unseen Throne, still only 3 seconds behind here as well. So top 9 drivers still all have potential to grab positions here yet. But our leader, Piggums, 12.7 seconds ahead of 2nd place driver Tyrone Colby, and getting very close. We're 5.5 minutes away from the end of our race here today, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a very long haul for these drivers. You know that they're getting tired. They are getting very hot in these race cars, and I'm sure that they cannot wait for this all to be over. And then they get to sit back, chill with their crews, go home, spend some absolutely beautiful time with their families in the off season, and get ready for another fantastic season of absolute fast, action-packed racing from the GTRC in the new year, folks. Tyrone Colby here doing everything he can. He does need to continue to worry about Bar 27 in behind, as Bar 27 clearly the fastest man on the racetrack right now as well. 4.4 seconds ahead of that man, but he's got his work cut out for him here. So Bar 27, he's trying. He's giving it everything he's got to try to see if he can grab a P2 here, but right now looking quite comfortable in P3. Doesn't want to overpush it. He doesn't want to make that big mistake. He just wants to bring this thing home. If he gets a shot at P2, perfect. If not, P3 is going to be a good finish for Bar 27. Tap here in 4th place. And you can see Petrolhead is starting to close in. He's within that slipstream. You can see the time starting to fall down here. 6 tenths down to 5 tenths. So Petrolhead back in the fight with this Genesis X. Are we going to see a battle at the end of the race between these two drivers? Quite possibly. Doug trying to get away, and he has now gotten a 4-second lead on Hairraiser. And he's got a little bit of slipstream up ahead of him here to help pull that gap even further. So Doug Barrow's looking pretty good here as well in 6th place. Hairraiser in 7th. You can see Supra just in the distance, so 3.5 seconds back, chasing in that 1987 Silhouette Skyline GTR. Unseen Throne, 3.3 seconds behind Supra there in 8th place, so he's starting to close the gap. At this point, these drivers know what they've got left for tire. They know what they got left for fuel. They know what they can do with their cars now. And it's all or nothing at this point. So let's see how this is going to finish out, folks. We have 3 minutes remaining. Coming into the bus stop, this is going to be the penultimate lap here for TPC's Pigums, I think. And I could be wrong. Coming in could be the penultimate one, actually. He's just on a good pace, but 11 seconds is that lead. He started with 20. Trone Colby has been able to take 9 seconds out of our race leader here in this final stint. Is it enough? I don't think so. Pigum's looking very large and in charge here. He also has some lap traffic in between him and Trone Colby. Everything is looking in the favor of TPC's Pigums here today at Daytona Road Course. So penultimate lap for TPC Pigums as we're going down to Trone Colby here now in 2nd. Penultimate lap for Trone Colby. 5.4 seconds on that 3rd place driver, bar 27, opening that gap up just a little bit. Bar 27 now on his penultimate lap as well in 3rd place, chasing. He's opened that gap up to 6 seconds from those drivers in behind. Petrolhead now in 4th place, so he has gotten around Tap. Petrolhead, 2 laps remaining. Can he hold it? Tap pushing in 5th place. Made the move early. Let's see if he can hold it now. Absolutely great stuff. Sorry we missed that, ladies and gentlemen. We're just trying to break this race down for everybody. Doug is going to come around, and this should be the penultimate lap for Doug as well. And Hairraiser should be on his white flag lap as well. And the rest of these drivers, Supra may just get another one. The rest of these drivers are on their final laps here. Unseen Throne, 750, Type R, all on their final laps here today. But the man with the plan is TPC Pigums. His strategy has proven to be the strategy of the day. 3 medium compound tire stints, 2 pit stops, manage that fuel, don't get caught up in too much battling, and bring it home. And that's what it looks like he is going to do here, folks. So, really good strategy here by TPC's Pigums today. And it's going to buy him a race win here. Trone Colby must have made a mistake. We see that 11 turn back to 13. And you see only 4.7 seconds to 3rd place driver, bar 27. So, Trone Colby making a little bit of a mistake there. You see those tires starting to wear down. Bar 27 chasing, doing everything he can. But again, you can't over push at this point. You know you have it. You just got to hold it now. Petrol in 4th, and he is pulling on Tap. So Tap potentially maybe having to save some fuel here. Maybe potentially for Doug, grab another position if Tap can't manage that fuel. Hairraiser starting to close up. 8 seconds. He's not going to catch Doug here, so it's looking like a 7th for Hairraiser, but now he's got an issue. He has got Supra all over him, and Unseen Throne still just right behind chasing. So here we go. On with Pigums. He is coming through the infield sector here right now, and that's it. Final laps, ladies and gentlemen. I miscalculated my timing, and this is going to be it. When Pigums comes across this finish line, this is going to be the end of the race for him, and a beautiful race win. So 13.9 second gap. A few corners to go here for TPC Pigums. He's got a bus stop and a couple of corners. You see Unseen Throne coming through there in 8th place. So all our drivers from 8th place down now starting to cross that finish line, finishing their races here today. So great job to all those drivers. Absolutely great stuff here today by everybody. And Pigums coming through the bus stop. 2 really long sweeping corners, and he's bringing home the race win. TPC Pigums, just absolute showmanship here around Daytona Road Course today. And he is going to be our GTRC Round 12 finale winner. Congratulations to TPC Pigums. Phenomenal race here from this man, and well deserved. Trone Colby coming in P2. What a race from this man, ladies and gentlemen. Troan Colby, tip your hat, my man. P2 for you. Absolutely great stuff here from Troan Colby. We love to see it. Fantastic stuff. Bar 27 coming around. Great race for him. P3 finish. He's going to be happy with that. Is it enough to pass Doug in the standings? We'll have to wait to see. Petrohead coming around. Strong race for him. P4 finish. Tap is out of fuel. Tap has run out of fuel. Is he going to cross the line before Doug catches him? Here we go. If we knew it was going to happen, somebody was going to run out. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, here he comes. Here comes Doug. Can he get it? Doug is going to grab a position. Doug is going to take 5th place with Tap running out of fuel. Type R is coming around in 11th. Oh, wow. What a finish. Tap is going to finish in 6th. Supra just behind here in 7th place. Doug Burrow with a gift from the racing gods here today in that BRZ. Poor Tap. Oh, Tap running out of fuel. Doug grabbing 5th place. That could be it. That could be the nail in Bar 27's coffin. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Burrow may have just secured 2nd overall in the GT3 championship due to Tap running out of fuel. Wow, what a race finish. Absolutely great stuff. All the drivers. Unseen Throne here in 8th place. Hair Razor in 9th. Great job to all our drivers. 750 in 10th. Type R in 11th. And Pappy having to retire that car early due to severe mechanical failure. And of course we did lose Magic Man 5500 in the Mazda due to disconnection here today. So fantastic stuff. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what do we say right there? Absolute incredible racing by the GTRC community. And wow, what a great finish here at Daytona Road Course. Always fireworks for these guys at the end. They never cease to leave the surprises right till the end of the race. But Pigham's the man in charge here today, the man everybody was chasing, and the man who had the best strategy on the racetrack, and he's going to bring it home for Team Apex. So congratulations to TPC's Pigham's. Great job there. And I'm sure the boys over at Apex are going to be absolutely tickled pink about the race win from their driver here today. So pole position and the race win, and just a great job by TPC's Pickup. So let's flip over. We're gonna smash this screen here. We're gonna play a little bit of Juicy for you guys for a second. We're gonna go jump into that driver's chat, and we're gonna do some podium interviews for our top 3 guys here today. So wow, what a race. What can we say? GTRC, Gran Turismo Racing Community. All right, everybody. So we are in with our drivers in the drivers chat here, and I'm sure these guys probably have lots to talk about, to laugh and giggle and go over here in amongst themselves to debrief. So let's just get right to it. Let's talk to our top 3 finishers here today, and we're gonna go start with our 3rd place driver, Bar 27. Now, Bar 27 coming into the championship 3rd overall in points. He had to worry about Hair Razor, who was just a few points behind him, and he's chasing Doug Barrow in the championship standings for that second place overall position. Only 9 points were separating those two drivers, and we just seen a crazy race finish. So what that implies in the standings is going to be that means it's going to be very close. But Bar 27 coming in with an absolutely clutch third place finish here for his race today. Congratulations, man! You're looking real solid out there, and talk us through it.
So I don't know where to begin, but I know at the end there I was just trying to go as quick as possible to catch his drone, but I wasn't quite quick enough, and Doug I think finished sixth, I think somewhere around there, and I'm hoping that's enough to pass him.
Well, Doug was definitely destined to finish sixth there in that race, but unfortunately, poor Tap ran out of fuel right on that last stretch to the start finish line, and it was actually just enough for Doug to grab fifth place overall. So it's really going to make it close. It's going to make it super close. But I mean,
Yeah, what
overall,
was
it looked
my
like
fastest lap?
you had a good, you had a pretty good qualifier. Probably not ideally for where you wanted to be in the qualifying, but you had a good race start, and then it seemed like your strategy just kind of kept you in the battle all night long. Talk us through what it was like, especially early on in the race. You guys were battling like crazy up there. How is it battling around Daytona Road Course full send like that? Talk us through it. Like the pressures. Try not to make that mistake. Obviously, you don't want to knock a driver off. You don't want to be knocked off. What's going through your mind in those moments?
It's definitely stressful. I was just trying to save fuel, staying behind people. I think I was working with petrol for majority of the first couple stints, and then I think he ran out of fuel coming into the pits, so I just overtook him throughout pit stops. And sadly, I did not have anyone to work with at the end there, and I couldn't catch Trone.
Fastest man on the racetrack, however, at the end of the race, you were absolutely throwing down some blazing fast times there as well. So, fastest lap there too, as well, for you to consider in there. Trying to figure out where it is that you place, but second and third place overall in the standings, ladies and gentlemen, are literally going to be separated maybe by 1 or 2 points here once this is all said, done, and official. So definitely stay tuned to the socials to find out where our GT3 championship all settled here in a couple of days. But nonetheless, finale night coming in with a podium finish, Bar, and great race for you. Look good out there. You're, like I said, fastest man on the racetrack today, and getting you a good P3 finish. So shout outs.
Uh, a, Definitely a big shout out to Trone with that second place finish. He's been looking really solid the past couple races, and he's definitely a person to look out for next championship. Big shout out to Ghost for all the commentating. Shout out to every driver that competed in this championship, and then shout out to every fan that is watching.
Cheers, brother. And again, congratulations. Great finale finish for you, and at least a top three on the season as well. So happy with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I can carry that into the next championships.
Absolutely, motivation and of course a little bit of confidence never hurts as well. So congratulations, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's coming soon after we're done the interviews here. So we're gonna move to our second place driver here, Troan Colby. Now at the beginning of the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, did I not say watch out for this man today? I could tell in qualifying he was a man on a mission, and I'm not sure what happened in turn three at the very first lap there. I'm not sure if he just got a little hard on the throttle and spun out, if there's a little bit of contact, but involved in an early incident, fell to the back of the pack, and finds himself sitting in second place at the end of the race. My man, congratulations. Absolutely phenomenal run for you. How you feeling?
Oh wow, I'm feeling pretty good. My very first podium at the pro, in this series. I mean, that incident you was talking about, yeah, I was, uh, I was thought I was gonna lose it, but I managed to keep it in there.
Well, I mean, it was a great job. We did see you go straight sideways there. We just, like I said, from our angle, we couldn't tell if it was just a little bit of a miscue, but you played a pretty good strategy. Did you stick to your original strategy coming into the race, or did you have to modify it after that little bit of a hiccup in early on in the race there?
Oh no, I stuck to the same plan. That little incident. Luckily, Super was there to save me from spinning it all the way out. So shout out to him for doing that. But yeah, my strategy stayed the same for that.
Well, you had incredible pace today, and we were saying to the viewers, at the beginning of the season, you were sitting there racing with the mid-pack guys. You seemed pretty comfortable there, and then all of a sudden, it's just like the beast in you came out, and you decided, nah, we want to go faster. And here we are at the end of the season. You're challenging for first place, and I mean, Piggums, when he came out of that final pit stop, had a 20-second lead on you, and at the end of the race, you managed to have that down to 13 seconds. So clearly, very, very quick on the racetrack. And is this just a track that you really like to race on, or is it a combination that the car was just really good here?
To be honest, this was one of my weaker tracks. So I'm surprised I did well and hung in there, to be honest.
Well, hard work pays off. We definitely know that you've been working hard. We've been seeing you racing all over the GT7 circuits here, so we've had the privilege to commentate quite a bit of it as well, and we've been watching your progression. It's been fantastic. So the competition next season definitely needs to look out for Tyrone Colby, ladies and gentlemen, because he just proved tonight that he is definitely there to run with these top runners in the series. So I mean, what else can we say, mate? But congratulations, that's a phenomenal race. I'm sure you're quite happy with the result here today, and give us some shout outs. Talk, who do you want to thank out there today?
Shout out to this community making this league possible. Shout out to all the drivers today, and shout out to you for commentary.
And we appreciate you. We really do appreciate you. I mean, and again, I can't wait to see what you're bringing into next season. I can't wait to be interviewing you at the top of the podium, because I really do feel like it's definitely coming for Tyrone Colby moving into next season. So keep that hard work up, my man, and I can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so moving to our winner, if he's still in the chat. I know he's probably got another race to get to, but we're going to quickly talk with TPC's Piggums here. The winner of the race today. Now, I knew when he was coming into this race today that he was most certainly going to try and go for that two-stop strategy, as we were talking about it a little bit earlier on in the day. And, well, you made it work, my man. Was it tough?
Oh, definitely. It just everything just happened to luck out and work out that I was able to make it work. So today was a good day, definitely.
Absolutely. And I mean, the beginning of the race, the first 15, 20 minutes, the top 7, 8 drivers, you guys were just absolutely battling and battling and battling to sort yourselves out. That was absolutely some great racing action from there. What's going through your mind at that when you know you're trying to pull a really long stint out on that first stint? Like, what are you going through your mind? Like, holy, should I just let these guys kind of sort themselves out and just fall behind? Or do you just try to hang out and hold in there?
No, that it's just a matter of trying to keep the momentum up, and you don't want to fight with anybody too much. And in a case like that, it's all about like total race time. So the less time you spend fighting, those things just tuck in behind and try to use their drive so you can save some more fuel.
And I mean, it's just tough out there on Daytona too. I mean, obviously, slipstreaming drafting it does play a very large part in how endurance racing on Daytona can end in. And we did see a lot of that coming from the guys that were chasing you behind. We started seeing these drivers tucking in behind each other, and you could see how much of a difference that slipstream made. There was a point when you guys were chasing Tap that was in the lead, and there was 4 of you from 2nd through to 5th place. And at some point, you guys just finally started to stop battling, and just you went 4 nose to tail and just absolutely bled that time off the leader within 4 or 5 laps. So you're on that final stint. You got a 20-second cushion. You just need to keep a good consistent pace, not make any mistakes. But you see that thing drop in 1.2 seconds a lap. What goes through your mind?
Just you just gotta stay calm and just stick to the plan. I hope it all works out. I seen he was closing in fast, and I just kept looking up at the clock to see how many laps were left. No, Tron was on fire out there today. If it wasn't for that little bit at the start there, he might have had that one.
Absolutely, and I mean, great recovery drive by Tyrone Colby too. I mean, all the way from the back of the pack back up in the P2. So obviously, we know that the Toyota Supras and the Mercedes AMGs prove to be the dominant cars here at Daytona Road Course. So, but we also do know, with that being said, the Mercedes and the Toyota are hard on tires and fuel. So how do you manage that in these high-powered cars on such a high-speed circuit?
Today it was just a little bit of everything today, lifting and coasting, a little bit of fuel map, trying to use the draft as much as you can, just easing into the brakes in the hard braking zone, trying to keep the tires alive for as long as possible, and basically this one needed all the tricks.
Well, there we go. And not even a race is no joke, ladies and gentlemen, especially when you have tire and fuel wear at 3 times. Obviously, each tire compound is going to wear differently, but it's also going to affect the pace around the racetrack. So drivers having to make a tough decision here today, and Pigham's making the right strategy call there and coming out on top. So congratulations, and I'm sure we're going to see many more podiums coming from you in the future as well. Are we going to see a TPC Pigham's in the future?
Definitely. I'm already looking forward to the next one.
There we go. Well, congratulations, man. Very hard, well-fought battle for you today, and winning the finale is always a big one. So congratulations and enjoy it.
Well, it's definitely a nice one to have.
Oh, shout-outs too. Gee, my apologies.
Oh, no worry. Everybody, yourself, and all the guys that put this on, all the guys that come out to race, and definitely the guys that finished on the podium, especially Tyrone. That's a great way to finish off the season.
Absolutely, and congratulations, and like I said, can't wait to see what you're bringing next season.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we're going to jump over to Doug Barrow, just because he is the only guy we haven't talked to that finished in the top 3 in the season. Tough race for you today, my man. Obviously, we know the car was a little bit lackluster in the top end of driving, but he's going to be at least a second-place finisher in the series here, maybe third, depending how the points break down. But how you feeling out there? A little nervous about how this is going to finish for the standings?
No, I'm all right. I'm happy. I'm pretty sure it's second. If Bar finished 2 positions ahead of me, that's 4 points, and the 1 point for his fastest lap, that's 5. I had 9. I'm in second. I'm happy, properly happy.
Well, I mean,
the way that car's been for the majority of the season, it's been, as you said, it's so underpowered. It's useless out of corners. It's okay in maybe 1 or 2 corners over the course of the circuit, and that's it. So it's I'm properly happy with second.
And I mean, obviously, so Bufu Shidara proved to be very dominant in this season. So locking his title down,
well done to him, yeah.
Yes, locking his title down last race weekend. So enjoying some time with his family and celebrating. And cheers to Bufu Shidara and that championship win. But 2 reasons why we're talking to you. Obviously, you're the second place finisher. You did what you had to do. It wasn't an easy race for you. We did see you go off at the International Horseshoe. It was at about lap 3 or 4 of the race. Now, was that due to contact or was that just due to misbraking?
I was stupid and got into a race with a car that was faster than me. So, I think I was a little bit wide, and it just didn't want to slow down. I either clipped a tiny bit of grass or got on the marbles, and it just didn't slow down. And once it hit the grass, it was in the wall. So, I think to finish 5th, even though it was a lucky 5th, I was all right, and had maybe I not had that accident, which cost me a lot of time, I might have been fighting for a podium. You never know.
You never know.
You know,
you made that BRZ really work out there.
BRZ around that track, I'm chuffed.
You really put it around there today, and I mean, tough car for this track combination, but again, great finish and securing the podium finish for the season nonetheless. But the second thing is, what's coming for the future season here in the new year from GTRC for the viewers?
Well, as I said in last week when you put me on the spot, and you've done it again, we got Group 4s coming up. We're looking at teams. We're looking at mixing pro and ams in teams together. Us, the top group of boys, and we'll probably end up setting a quali just to figure out from new drivers any other top set of boys, because we've got a quali thing set up that works. So to find out if there's any new pros that can't go with ams sort of things, so the top 5 pros can't go with another pro sort of thing. So it's that sort of thing. We haven't picked out the exact start date. It's going to be either 10 or 12 races for the season. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I think the format's going to be fairly similar to this season for race length and things like that. But yeah, Group 4s, teams, mixed teams, and more than likely a pro and am championship as well as a manufacturers championship sort of or model championships. I'm not sure how that's worked out yet.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Some fantastic stuff coming next season from the GTRC community. This will be the official sponsored season as well, so there's going to be prizes on the line for these guys. There's a lot to race for next season for these guys. They're going to have a brand new look at the GTRC on the broadcast. They're going to be getting some custom graphics package. Of course, that'll be powered by High-Pre Graphics, as it always is, and it's going to be an absolute bang-up season. 2 divisions, ladies and gentlemen, so get your sign-up pens ready for the new year, folks, because these guys are going to have a couple divisions available for play, and they'll both be live broadcast if we fill those divisions, as we do have No Lander Gaming to come in and broadcast that second lobby for us live as well. So if you guys are interested in the new year to look for some league racing on a Saturday afternoon here in North America, or a Saturday evening over in the United Kingdom and Europe area, it's definitely the GTRC you want. Stay tuned for more on all the socials. Keep an eye on that YouTube channel. Keep an eye on the Facebook channels, the groups. It'll all be posted as it all shakes down from these guys. So congratulations to you guys. In my opinion, hugely successful season. We had full grids, all GT3 championship, and some great racing. And the MX-5 looked absolutely amazing and wonderful, and it got a lot of attention. And I think there's something there for you guys in the future as well with those cars as far as future series goes. So huge shout out to the GTRC and their staff. Good job this season, you guys, and look forward to see what you guys got in the off season for us.
Thank you, but cheers for all your work this season. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys are good to debrief yourselves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there we have it. Absolutely great stuff from the GTRC there. Doug Barrow, of course, one of the representatives from the league there, and you know, these guys do great things over there. It is really a family-oriented community over there, and it's something you want to be a part of, so stay tuned. Keep your eyes on the socials. We'll be making those posts on my pages as well as GTRC on their pages, so you guys won't miss the action. The Discords will have everything you guys will need to know. So yeah, New Year. Make sure you guys are ready to race on a Saturday afternoon. Yes, sir. Let's go. Well done. Hey, cheers, Nolander. Cheers, Nolander. So we're going to leave you off with this little bit of a video we had a member of the community make for us. It's a great video, and we're going to send off the stream with that video, and then we're going to send it off to thank you very much for tuning in all season long. Again, to everybody who's tuned in every race, we appreciate your patronage, your return support. It's massive for us, and you guys are the motivation behind what we do here at the GTRC. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, and I really hope that everybody enjoyed the broadcast this season. This is your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and we're signing off, folks, with an absolute fun little video that we've seen a couple times here on the stream for you guys, and a little bit of music to send you off for the day. So have a great evening or afternoon, wherever it is you're viewing from, and let your weekend be absolutely full of joy. Appreciate all of you. GTRC, Gran Turismo Racing Community.